My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
Criminal summoning at 3:17 a.m. And this is, again, at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. This is actually demonic activity where the entity is just surrounding with ongoing methods of noise, and those noises reminiscent of the sound of sirens, reminiscent of the sound of a train, for example, reminiscent of the sound of a helicopter that you're even seeing flying in front of you, and while the audible activity is vacillating in volume, while the entity is also engaging in what is pacing all around you. And so this is the amplification of sirens at 3:17 a.m. And doing so, this is criminal summoning by the entity. This is criminal summoning by the Ontario Police Department, the people of the state. And that pattern of conduct is underway at this time in the morning. It's 3:17 a.m. on Tuesday, May 24, 2022. And this is P.O.C. Okay, first of all, this is audible activity. So let me break down what is demonic, okay? It's not the actual sound of the train, and there is not even an actual train on the tracks either. The entity is also engaging in what is changing activity as it knows that I'm also recording it. While the entity is engaging in the conduct, which is creating the sound of a train as though the train is approaching, the entity, as you saw on video, that amplified sound of the train was exceptionally loud, while the Ontario Police was flying directly toward me by helicopter. In that video, the amplification was much, much higher. And this is what the entity does with the illusion of the sound of a train. It's demonic activity. It is as fake, if you will, as directed light, which is not sunlight. Okay, this is demonic. Satan is surrounding with noise, in other words, and doing so under what is the under the illusion that this is a train activity that you're hearing. Union Pacific is actually not sounding any train horns. Okay, while the train does engage in what is running on those tracks back and forth, there's actually no train on the tracks right now. And that is actually not even train activity. This is demonic, what you are listening to. Okay, and doing so with ongoing knowledge of the fact that I am recording. Moments earlier, it's currently 3:43 a.m. About 5 minutes ago, another train was on the another train was on the tracks. Just using the train, maintaining ongoing noise at the museum where I'm at, where the entity is monitoring, and doing so while engaging in what is amplification, ongoing. This is demonic. Amplification is speaking to nothing other than what is the exaggerated, the hyperbolic, first of all, hyperbolic level of volume. It's an unnatural level of volume. And even what you're hearing now, it is amplification of what is literally, it's the fake noise of a train. Fake meaning, as fake, the same term that I use with the fake sun. You literally see the object. You see it there. It's not fake in that regard if you're not seeing the sun, even though I'm sure obviously you're looking at it. Fake with regard to this is not possibly the natural environment while this light source is over my head, as we would ordinarily refer to the natural environment and that light source as the sun. I'm showing you that conduct, that behavior of that light source. That is what is referred to as the fake sun in the unnatural environment. And this is the quote unquote amplification of audible activity, the fake noise of a train. You're hearing the noise, it's reminiscent of the sound of the train. There's actually no train on the tracks. And those trains that are even on those tracks, that is not noise that's attributed to those trains. It's not actually occurring. Those trains are not actually sounding any of that horn blowing, if you will. That's what I mean by that. And so I want you to listen to that. That's the entities engaging in ongoing harassment. That is the prosecution while that demonic activity is underway. The company Union Pacific, as I captured in video and as I continue to capture on podcast, is fully engaging in what is terrorism. Union Pacific is fully cooperative with what the demon-possessed police agencies are engaging in surveillance and these demonic methods of maintaining noise, which is audible activity, light, and relevant positioning. This is a massive facilitation and doing so again at these ongoing hours, 3:45 in the morning, obsessive stalking. All right, that amplification, that audible activity is instrumental to what is ongoing monitoring that is underway. And I'm also revealing what is terrorism and breaking down again, terrorism with regard to what are demons, demonic methods of placing you under surveillance. All right, in doing so, in what are ways that I'm also breaking down for you, it's not even what you are looking at is not necessarily the explanation for what it is that you are observing. So because you're looking at light, in other words, on the ground, that is not sunlight. All right. Because you are hearing, for example, a plane, a loud plane activity that you may see in the sky, that is not necessarily that plane that you are hearing. This is the work of Satan. Satan surrounding you with what is an environment, and it is actually an unnatural environment in every regard. And this is terrorism while Satan does this. And Satan is doing it through its minions. This is terrorism that's underway in the U.S. The demon-possessed police agencies are monitoring while this demonic environment is maintained. Right, so I want to capture that. It's 3:46 a.m. and the entity is engaging in that ongoing hyperbolic, frequent use of the train activity to engage in ongoing monitoring with the people of the state. This is P.O.C. Omnitrans, Route 87, stalking with directed light, license 1399980, best 1266. Direct light to the passenger side of the bus, reaching onto the sidewalk while they're in the street driving. Just as you saw, employee 2229 engage in committing that federal offense, which the people that said are going to be prosecuted for. 8DRP 361, 7DCS 340, 6NTR 488, 8XZX 592, 9AEG 269, 9AIR 504, 7NKM 168, 9AEG 269, I think. Yeah, 269, 7KPU 290, 7J97317, 7YGT 101, and it's 8:07 a.m. 4ZOE 185, 8MOV 832, 18161W2, 89300D1, and Ontario Montclair School District, license 1358637. And that's a demon driving that school bus, molesting with directed light, just engaging in what is repeating the P.O.C. That's why they're going to federal prison and they won't be permitted to drive school buses. I'll tell you that much. They're violent sex offenders that like to repeat the conduct, especially while they're caught engaging in it. 35107X2, that's what that demon driving that Montclair school bus is, that's what that's about. 8 RSP 501, 6CNN316, 7NHS 223, 1560780, 84971W2, and they're all molesting with Ontario Montclair School District. Metro 102, group stalking with light activity. That's terrorism. And they're molesting with Ontario Montclair School District. License 8SSA 536, 34225F1, 7BNM 763, 7FDZ 290, 78000C1, 7... I can't really see that one. And that is Brightview, that is stalking in the path with light activity. Just as you see in my video, Brightview is group stalking, creating audible activity, while the entity is keeping the fake sun over me at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. Brightview is monitoring with Omnitrends, who is over here at the bus stop, routes 83/87, with light activity, whose license plate I recited. They're monitoring. That's why that demon has directed light while they're crossing path. They're not operating a bus line, and they'll be prosecuted for that. License 8XFB182, 5NTN352. That's why you're understanding when you have stripped down the demon-possessed population and they're engaging in that pattern of conduct. There is no legal argument. Oh, I'm on the job. That's why I'm mowing the grass. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm using the lawnmower. That's making noise. That's why I have my truck on, but with the hazard lights on. All of that is form, which is legally irrelevant. You will be prosecuted as the group stalking, sex offending terrorist that you are, stalking with the police. 4 WVC 172. Alrighty, this is an African American male monitoring with the operating that bus with the directed light with bus 1266. That's the one I documented. Let's see if I can see this minion's name. I don't see a badge. Right. This is a heavy set African American male loitering. 416-41A1 28926R2. Monitoring together, molesting with light.
No courtesy race.
Right, and he's again touching with these demons who are patrolling. He's going to federal prison. Have a good day touching all over me, Satan, because you're going to federal prison. Him in that pot belly. License 7XEG684, 6NSS234, 34249H3. 53378G3, 8YUV709. They're all touching together. All of them demons. 6SUU946, 8ZTF782, 7EDM077, 7ESF632, 7PPA653, 5NQK996, 5NIY296, 8YUG497. All right, and that's a demon just using the bus as a means of audible activity. Let me be clear. They are demons with the demon possessed. All right, they're the same condition as the Ontario Police Department has revealed to you. Those are demons engaging in terrorism. They're monitoring, and they are demon-possessed, and the people of the state are demons alike. They're engaging in that satanic conduct with the on behalf of the Ontario Police, who is engaging in this terrorizing system of what is federal group stalking and monitoring while I'm in Ontario. 975MX, handicap, 7V33699, 6WDN468, 7WMC540, BJOLLIE. All right, and that's surrounding the perimeter with light activity. That was Omnitrends. That is 8DFU369. That was Brightview. And at third-party facilitating venue, Metro 102, stalking with light activity. Surrounding the perimeter with light activity, 8GIW863. That is the work of the entity engaging in what is stalking with light, flashing light, while they're all monitoring together, 8JLM306, and they're all pacing around in this engineered light. It's entirely demonic. 8SJJ551. UPS is crossing path. 7ZTW572. RXE568, 7NGG813, MECHMBL, 7KTG161, 8UXA911, BRJTA, 8DDL048, 2ZQD129, 6320983, CC30M, I can't see the rest of them, 7XRF491, I think I read that one, 8LKE953, 1162063, I believe. 1162063, which is Caltrans. 6ROX472. CC30M13 paper. 8GXT079. That's Caltrans. 6ROW462. 8FXN059. 7XXD506. 5MUF743. 19819Y2. C4KSF 948. That is the group stalker flying right over me, United Airlines. And by over me, they're not flying over the museum anymore. They're not flying over REA money transfer across the street where I'm getting off the bus, Route 83, yesterday evening. They're flying right here at this bus stop. And that's amplified audible activity, separate and distinct from that demon operating that plane. 8SQG 558, 8DGX 358, 8TWG 445. United Airlines is engaging in terrorism surveillance with the Ontario Police. 8TKF 978. $7BLY 134. It is 8:15 a.m. 8AKD 224, 7UPJ 328, 7MYE 402, 7EIH 484. Seven FLZ 723. It is 8:16 a.m. on Tuesday, May 24, 2022. This is P.O.C. Right, it is 8:16 a.m. DH Towing is crossing path. Omnitrans Route 61 going eastbound at 8:16 a.m. crossing path. And of the United States Postal Service, the reason why I say of course is because they're facilitating venues right here across the street from the museum. And again, they're all, not only are they stalking and demonstrating their demon possession and doing so with the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department while they're monitoring and stalking under the fake sun in that, in other words, demonic environment. The United States Postal Service is across the street where the entity has provided me documentation showing you what is supposedly the setting sun over that United States Postal Service office at 123 West Hall Boulevard, where I showed you the fake sun over me today across the street at the museum at 7:50 a.m., 8JID 449, 8VLZ 932. So that's why I say, of course, the United States Postal Service, their quote-unquote headquarters, is a facilitating venue. They're all demons monitoring. 8BVK 901, 7AYF 511, 7NEJ 116, 7MSZ 459, 7GFS 962, 1300204, I believe, 8SYW 334, 7JEA 831, 7MPE 189, 05689C2, 8XZX 563, Night Swift Transportation Holdings Incorporated, crossing path. Student Transportation of America. The conduct that's exhibited by, for example, while I'm referencing the demons that are operating, for example, the Ontario Montclair School District, the school bus that goes out of their way to come in, and that is going out of your way. Directed light is an impossible occurrence. It's the conduct of a demon. It's the work of Satan. Sunlight's not ricocheting off your car, shooting horizontally across any building, across any sidewalk, to touch any person. That's a demon. And that's a demon that's going out of their way to do so while they are in real time observation of what I'm speaking. okay, when I'm speaking on my podcast about omnitrans, for example. That demon speeds by in order to molest me with light, okay? And so what I want to reveal about that, 7HCC269, 7TLD884, that's the personality of Satan. I've documented that pattern. I've revealed that to you because you need to know about the personality of Satan. This is relevant to what is not only the creation of federal policy, the ongoing full body awareness of how Satan operates, the personality of Satan, what you can expect from Satan as you are understanding demonic activity is very, very real. And it's also relevant not only to your everyday life, but to the criminal system that the demon-possessed are engaging in this country. How Satan works, having no secrets whatsoever, and I'm fully exposing that. But in addition to that, those are the third parties, the people of the state engaged in that conduct that go to psych wards. They're going in mental wards. 8JTH961. 7PSY262, 8KJH813, 63511K3, 8YSE504, 7WWK995, 8WD, I can't see that one, you can scratch that, 26199K2, 5FRF296, 8T86919, CTANLEI, 7SNC576, 6ZIL440, 6DJB814, and the reason why they belong in a mental ward, all right, and in a straitjacket, in other words, strictly confined, in order to literally remove, okay, the threat that is posed to the public by such an individual. And this is not just an individual. The Ontario Montclair School District employs the demon-possessed who are in custody of children, engaging in what is going out of your way to sexually molest somebody. That's what they did. They literally did that while they are aware of the fact that I'm documenting the pattern of conduct by the people of the state. Molesters with directed light. It is both the work of Satan. It's also sexual violence by the demon-possessed who are monitoring documentation. All right, license plate 7EHC272, which they're doing with the police department. And so you're talking about what is understanding the mindset behind somebody that is doing that. It's very, very disturbing. That is an intent to terrorize someone. That's an intent to engage in what is predatory conduct. You're hurrying up and speeding by because Satan wants to hurry up and terrorize and touch and molest and repeat the very conduct that it's listening to me document about it. That's a psychopath, okay? 7XYS494, that's clean street. And they are doing so under the same identification, just like I was speaking about Omnitrans, 7XEG301, and let me repeat it again. It was Omnitrans employee number 2229, who I documented on video, engaging in what is a grandiose method of molesting my person with what is impossible light activity, directed light, reaching from while she is driving the bus in the street. You're talking about reaching all the way across the sidewalk to molest all over me under the fake sun in the morning. Okay, that was employee 2229. Ontario Montclair School District, as I documented in more than one video, on March 14, 2022, those demons driving those school buses, representing the people of the state, did the same thing, and they are engaging in replicating that conduct as I documented. That's what Ontario Montclair School District is doing by virtue of that conduct. 46303L2, that's Brightview. And so you have, that's what I want to be clear, that's what I was speaking to while they engage in that. That's a demon that does that. That's a psychopath that engages in that. Those are psychopaths that are going to psych wards as well. 8WIP665, 8EMJ580, 91079M1, 5FFR426, 04184E2, that's SoCal Edison, 8LZN440, TEFETI, Heart, I believe. License BF01XO paper. License 4V20929, 7TAH486, 1929 6X2, 7THY970, 7SMR236, 6W81293, I believe. And that is revealing, again, not only the demon possession, but the intent to terrorize someone while you are of that condition. Satan's reaching out, okay, with an urgency, okay, hurrying, trying to offend you, trying to violate you. This is the pattern of conduct by the people of the state. But this is what the Ontario Montclair School District engaged in while I was documenting on podcast. And I documented that same actor engaging in that. So, and not only that, I mean, I have a wealth of documentation. That's exactly what the people of the state engage in on a routine basis while they're in their cartoon environment stalking. License 8 LAS 178, I believe, 7 ZHS 380. And so you're talking about the criminal record, the ways in which you're going to protect the American citizen from the demon-possessed population who engage in such terrorism and criminal conduct. 6 FOT 103, no, a demon is not going to be permitted to drive school buses, have anything to do with anything relating to do with being around children in the ways that they are right now. 7C TJ 480, or in other words, being exposed, where the public is exposed to them, where they're able to continuously pose that threat to the public. In addition to that, you're talking about what is necessary as a matter of justice. You restrain such threats to the public. Federal prison and or psych wards, restricting and removing that threat from the public. All right, and that's based on their own criminal conduct, and that's exactly where Satan is going. All right, and so that's what I want to be clear, and I've documented plenty of the Ontario Montclair School District. I have a pool of defendants engaging and repeating the same exact P.O.C. License 8ZKB 187, 9AHN 542, 8EYT 876, 7TIV 762, 7LKY 597, 6RCN 055, 8HWN 550, I believe, 7XVT336, 1430812. That's California exempt. And this is Brightview that you hear in the background. They're creating ongoing noise, loitering at the trash can, in operation of their communication device while they're so focused on emptying the trash can. They're stalking in the path and stalking with light activity, and they like to do so with impunity while they're monitoring my documentation. You can go to federal prison for that. I want to engage in surveillance. Thank you. They're just manning the path, doing so on behalf of the Ontario Police. 6D 64046, and they're going to go to federal prison with the Ontario Police. Going around emptying trash cans, stalking, to federal prison. It is currently 8:26 a.m. And again, they are driving. I took an image of their license plate. They are under the fake sun, stalking. License 46303L2, Brightview group stalking. And that's exactly what they were doing, by the way, while I was living in my vehicle in Diamond Bar, California, where the Los Angeles County Sheriff engaging in this criminal system. That's law enforcement that's engaged in terrorism. Doing so at the park where my vehicle was remained under the fake sun, by the way. 8PUJ 657, where the people of the state were engaging in terrorism with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, who would go out of their way to drive on that small, quaint street where ordinarily nobody should have even noticed me. Oh, but because I was subject to surveillance, and all of the pattern of conduct that I'm revealing to you now is underway while the entity was engaging in criminal summoning all day long, stalking by helicopter and planes all day long, speeding up and down that street, creating what is ongoing earthquakes in that vehicle. 7LJX 554, sensational activity, JFTOW2, 9AUV 342, monitoring me in the bathroom at that park on license 8AFR 337, 6FPW 986, 6TAA 945, M419BO, 49563D2, 6VNM 188, 8EQJ 125, 8ALP 310, and this is Chafee Joint Union 1302411, 8XAU 695. And monitoring me while my panties are down inside of that public bathroom, where the entity was flying directly over by planes, looking directly into the bathroom while my panties were down, monitoring me, engaging in that conduct while I was at that park on in Diamond Bar, California, where Brightview, monitoring me in bathrooms, stalking just like they are now with the same African-American or dark-skinned perhaps Middle Eastern male. The old one that is group stalking at the bus stop, he likes to engage in surveillance. You can go to federal prison right along with them as well. He's doing so with Brightview. So I just want to give you, I have fully documented Brightview before on more than one occasion, and it goes back years. All right, and how you document the people of the state that use commercial brands. The commercial brand is the means of identifying. It's analogous to identifying the individual. All right, that company, period. Group stalking you in Los Angeles, group stalking you in San Bernardino. That's how you're going to do that. In addition to whatever license plates that you recover, but you're going to use that brand because that company represents the people of the state, group stalking you wherever it is that you're at. And Brightview has been engaging in criminal surveillance, sexually motivated predatory monitoring with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. All right, with the with obviously the Ontario Police Department, but they've been engaging in monitoring for a very long period, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. 7VCN 846 23603Y2 SALLAM 8ROY 394 license 6Z KK 332 6YVP 994 5F 68804 85814R1 1302412. That's Chaffee Joint Union High School. Criminal summoning the Ontario Fire Department, which is exactly what they were doing last night as well. They're doing so under the fake sun. It's 8:30 a.m. Chaffee Joint Union High School is engaged in criminal summoning. So let me show you who's in relevant position monitoring with the Ontario Fire Department. It is 8:31 a.m. License 1418534. That's Chaffee Joint Union High School criminal summoning. 8WVU 272 and license 1404973 Omnitrans route, bus 1329, criminal summoning with the Ontario Fire Department and Airmark Corporation. It is 8:32 a.m. That's criminal summoning. That's Ontario Police. This is David, who's engaging in criminal summoning. Employee 2366.
One more day, huh?
Here you go.
One more day and get out of here.
Alrighty, and as I was stating, I captured still images of relevant positioning while the Ontario Fire are using their truck. That's a demon. Those are demons using a fire truck to create light activity. They're demons stalking with light. Demons that are in positions that they have no business being in are using fire trucks to stalk in the path with light. That's what the Ontario Fire Department is doing, and doing so with Chaffee Joint Union High School. Doing so with Omnitrans. This is David, employee 2366. Engaging in stalking while the Ontario Police is stalking by a helicopter. He's stalking while the Ontario Fire Department is sounding sirens. He's engaged in criminal summoning. Both of those, by the way, by themselves are grounds of federal prison. And this is the one that's operating the bus as I'm capturing who's around me in traffic. In addition to where I'm located, Metro 102 is engaged in criminal summoning. It's massive facilitation. The people of the state reside on B Street. They're engaged in criminal summoning. They are doing so while the Emporia Lofts, they're in relevant position, they're engaged in criminal summoning. And seconds after I capture that, the Ontario Police sound sirens, and that's when David pulls up. That's criminal summoning. That's the entity, and they're doing so under the fake sun that's at this bus stop. So I just want to point that out. And again, as I was stating, I want to make sure I document. The entity is group stalking at the bus stop. This is the same dark-skinned male and perhaps Middle Eastern who goes out of his way to come to the bus stop to engage in stalking, because that's what he's doing. He's monitoring while Brightview is just loitering around the bus bench, monitoring with him. All right, and he's monitoring while the Ontario Fire Department is stalking with sirens. He is monitoring while the United Airlines is flying directly over, creating amplified audible activity. He is engaging in what is, he is the documented actor who's molesting while he's doing the same thing you see in the picture, staring at his phone. He's just stalking and monitoring, threatening with the entity in your face. A psychopath, this is Satan, who is engaging in what is, again, I want to repeat what I stated, because this is the reality of what this minion is doing. He's stalking, spending his time coming to a bus stop to engage in this criminal monitoring system, and that's exactly what he's doing under the fake sun and in directed light, while the police are stalking. You're doing it on behalf of that entity. And so this is what I'm stating, that is the impermissible threat, while that's a minion that engages in that. Those are demons that are engaging in that obsessive stalking conduct on behalf of the entity. The Ontario Police, who you hear sounding sirens in the background. The Ontario Fire Department, who are engaging in criminal summoning just like they were last night. All right, who are going to federal prison for that. They're facilitating venue on B Street. They remain in relevant position, monitoring with the Ontario Police all night long, while they then go out of their way to cross path on Euclid Avenue and sound their sirens and lights, which is criminal summoning. While this old dark-skinned male is monitoring with all of those actors while he is maintaining close presence sitting on the bus bench. All right, and waiting for Route 87, another third party, is no forum for that. He is engaging what is spending his time to engage in ongoing criminal monitoring, and based on that desire to spend that time in that criminal manner, he is subject to what is spending time in federal prison. And that's what I want to be clear. He goes out of his way to engage in that, doing so on an ongoing basis while monitoring documentation, fully aware of the fact that he's being documented, not a deterrence. Those are the types that you place away. You remove that threat from the public. A demon also that is engaging in molestation, as I've documented him, and is present engaging in what is ongoing monitoring. All right, so it's currently 8:35 a.m., and these are the demons who are stalking with the entity that's flying over me while I'm on the bus by helicopter, and their ongoing conversation is audible activity, and that's the African-American female and the bus driver themselves. They're monitoring while they're chit-chatting, so consumed with their conversation. All right, and I'm just speaking to what is a psychopath. They're not even about this conversation. They're not concerned about that. They're monitoring. That's why the entity is stalked with a fake sun and directed light and by helicopter and all manner of sirens. That's a demon possessed. So anyway, it's currently 8:36 a.m. Walmart is crossing path. License 13242G3. It's 8:36 a.m. XPL 175. Monitoring with a minor who's on Omnitrends under the fake sun at Arco at 434 North Euclid Avenue. And so is Brightview, the same license plate. Stalking in traffic. License 6F. I can't really see that one. But the company Arco is engaging in what is criminal monitoring with the Ontario Police, terrorizing and doing so with a minor. 8XNR 593, I believe. So is Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. J594YO. 7YPF478, I believe. And, excuse me, I can't really see that one, so use guys. It's 8:37 a.m. 8YVS519. And so is this minion, and so is David. They're on the bus monitoring, doing so with this underage minion who's on the bus with her communication device. These demons under the age of 18 are monitoring. Right, and that's what they're doing. So with those over the age, that's how you're going to prosecute the state and the people of the state. (8YPD 474). (568) S2, I believe.
Stop requested.
7 MPC 098. (81324Y1). Monitoring with a minor child at what is Chaffee Joint Unit High School. Group stalking in the middle of the intersection. (8:39 a.m.) RZW. I can't really see the rest of it. You can search that. (8ZQC 656). 8ACB 889. YCZ 925. VUR 840. ROU 871, 8XXZ 881. Security paving crossing path 8FNC 031.
Caution, pedestrians. Bus is turning.
7854 8V1. C01942C3, stalking with lights, flashing light activity, facilitation, 61972C3, 8JXY952. It is currently 8:44 a.m. BOU 871, 8JNX 843, 8LAG 164. CSD 510.
Stop requested.
8:45.
If possible, please use your windows.
Alright, employee 2366 is driving bus 1329. This is Route 83. Alrighty, and this is license plate 1404973, and David is molesting. While you hear Metrolink, so is Metrolink. They're molesting. So is 8XET911. 6EQL338, molesting with directed light while the buses of the door is closed, which is occurring outside, and I've shown you the same conduct on the inside of the bus. That's demonic. BN67C95 paper. She's on surveillance cameras entering with a pink shirt and black pants on. She's crossing path and she's molesting. 98906H1, molesting. They're at the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, 8JMC 406. Hi. At least you smiled. Alrighty, showing you what's directed light while this minion 8JMC 406 is group stalking. It says vehicle number 22Z4SK. You can see the directed light shooting forward. That's like this. That's the market. That's demonic. It's entirely stupid. It's not only is directed light an impossible occurrence, you're looking at what is just asinine just with this light activity. 8KUB457, 8JYF900, 5SGG025, and they're all molesting. All of them. While David is touching me while bus doors are closing, they're all sex offenders molesting together. They're demons that are monitoring in that light activity. It's 8:47 a.m. at 7-Eleven in Upland. All right, the people of the state, as I just documented, they are group stalking inside of the venue where the entity is aiming directed light all across the back wall where the fountain drinks are as I walk in that direction to go get ice, which you would also see on surveillance cameras inside of this venue, stalking me inside of the store with their directed light. And then the people of the state, these are the demons that are stalking in the path while this directed light is flashing all about. You'll see the minion with the denim shorts on. He's got tattoos on his calves, on his right calf specifically, and wearing white socks and some flat Vans and a cap, glasses on his cap. He's on surveillance cameras. He's loitering. He's maintaining presence while the entity is engaging in this directed light conduct. He is group stalking with the employee whose license plate. He's got the box car outside, the white car. This is a Caucasian male with the wedding band on, and his license plate starts with 8XET. They're monitoring together, maintaining presence while these other two that are at the microwave, again, as I purchase something that I need to put in the microwave, these demons come in, and of course they need to use the microwave as well. It's the Latino male, blue shirt, neon green shirt, orange shirt, black, or those are dark blue pants. They're group stalking by going to the microwave. They're all group stalking under the fake sun and in direct light. I'm showing you how obsessively they are stalking. This is like the minion that's standing behind me, directly behind me. Hi, everything okay? Okay, because he's staring hard. Is everything okay? Are you using the microwave?
Yes.
Oh, okay. They're standing behind me inside of the library, just hovering. This is what they're doing by using the microwave that I'm foreseeably going to use as I make a purchase, obviously to buy something I'm going to buy something that I'm going to heat up. This is how they're maintaining presence. This is group stalking. And of course, this is the case in directed light. It is currently 8:54 a.m. This is P.O.C. I just want to document the ongoing terrorism. This is 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. That same exact 7-Eleven. Engaging criminal summoning, ongoing molestation, monitoring with the Upland police also while I documented that exiting. McCann and Mikalovich, I believe. The 7-Eleven is in relevant position while the Upland police line that path right there in front of the Upland City Hall. 7-Eleven is monitoring with them, I want to be clear. But this is the entity that's engaged in that P.O.C. inside of this venue where they're monitoring documentation. You're going to hold all of that against the entity as you prosecute it. It's currently 8:54 a.m. All right, also molesting 8HPH681, 14955Z2, 5SGG025, 28574V1, 8ZBA133, 8KUB457. Oh. Alrighty, it is 8:58 a.m. (7GXG453). (6DKW417). I can't really see that one. 7 CPU 358. 5 ULY 507. 4 PSW 104. 6 XCP 619. 6 WBM 074. 6 KYV 850. 8 W77959. CAL FIRE 1382997. 6A69. Can't really see that one. 5 PLZ 448. 7 W22472. 8 BWG 285. 6 XCV 818. Oh, let me document those 3 licenses, right? The last 3 licenses, well, the last 4. Speaking to understand, CAL FIRE is engaging in the same molestation. They're a sex offender group stalking and terrorizing under the fake sun. But I want to be clear, the last 4 that I documented, they're engaging in a sexual molestation. All right, while I'm walking on the sidewalk at 300 Euclid Avenue, impossible light activity in the shade, while I'm being touched with light. Okay, these are demons who are group stalking, and I want to be clear, those third parties are engaging in that molestation. Including CAL FIRE 7 ETM 904, license 89017V1, 7 LKB 553, I believe, 7 HAU 019, DBL J24. And that is nothing other than, again, that impossible occurrence of how somehow light is touching you, your shadows appearing in the shade, doing so while you are walking. I'm walking in the shade on the sidewalk, and the fake sun is remaining over my head. But again, I'm walking in the shade, and these vehicles are parked along the curb. And so this is that same ongoing impossible occurrence. Those are license plates of third parties who are sexually molesting you. Because the entity is doing so through the people of the state. You document whatever you have, but they are indeed in relevant position, monitoring while that light activity is occurring. That's why it's ongoing, because you are subject to what is real-time monitoring, and it's demonic. It's demonic. It's not just criminal monitoring, it's demonic while they're monitoring you. It's going to be relevant to prosecution for terrorism. And that's occurring at what is the Upland Unified School District. You have a whole bunch of minions who will have nothing to do with children after I prosecute them. PXOXO. Nothing to do with children at all. License 28268F1. They won't even be able to mop the dirty bathroom floors in a kindergarten school. You'll have nothing to do with children. License 8ZAT172 or anything related to children. License 8VTK595. 7TLV861. 6VVN863. 8LPF189. 6XCP619. ADA495, and it's currently 9:04 a.m. Fake sun following to the Upland Public Library, where it remains, where it was as I exited, documenting McCann and Makilovich, I believe, after 6 p.m. in the evening. This is definitely the pattern of conduct, and this is at the Upland City Hall and the Upland Public Library, and this is P.O.C. So you're going to want to pay attention to what these demons are doing today, right now. They have children lined up in front on both sides of the Veterans Monument. So this is the Upland City Hall where they're monitoring, and the Upland Public Library where they're monitoring, and the placement of children in engineered light is for purposes of what is activity creation, facilitation for children that are engaging in that pattern of conduct as the people of the state place them in that position to do so. And I want to be clear, this is also an ongoing molestation, so this is engaging in sexual violence and including children, and with the intent to do so. I want to be clear, they're monitoring documentation. They are witnessing my creation of federal policy in order to bind them, because that's exactly what they are. You're already bound, and I'm going to prosecute you, and I'm going to prosecute and expose expose every method of your demented system. And I want to be clear, these minions are doing so with children at the same location where the entity is stalking by helicopter. So they are, again, showing what is necessary to restrain and remove based on that criminal record that you will have for the rest of your life after I prosecute you as a group stalker. They are in no way to be in any location around children, having nothing to do with any industry dealing with children. While they are placing children in that environment, they are literally engaging in what is terrorism with the Upland Police Department / Ontario Police Department, etc., while they are monitoring. That's the environment that they're placing them in. And there's nothing that's endearing or anything less than that. They're under the fake sun. They're in directed light. They are targeting an American citizen. They are demons doing that. They are doing so with the inclusion of children in that environment where, by the way, the entity is engaging in what is all manner of demonic terrorism, stalking and monitoring. And lining them up at both venues, which is a method of surrounding. Let me also be clear what the demon possessed are doing. They are engaging in what is terrorizing you via children. Okay, they're engaged in that demonic method of creating activity, doing so through the faces of children. Okay, so I want you to let that penetrate, understand what they're doing. It is terrorism, and they are doing so via children. So I want you to understand the levels of sickness that is engaged in that. That's the mindset behind that. And those, again, that's not only speaking to what is federal prison, the people of the state are also subject to what is going to mental wards. These are very dangerous psychopaths. And you're removing those threats, in addition to what is that criminal record, and removing any possibility of ever working in these fields and placing children in this environment and including them in this criminal system, because that's exactly what these women are doing. And I captured their images. They're group stalking and doing so with children. It is 9:07 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, what you're looking at, also let me give you a vivid reminder, because this is what Satan is hoping that you forget. But you're not going to forget when you're looking at the appalling documentation of police department stalking an American citizen by helicopter. And this Upland Police Department that is stalking is engaging in group stalking with the people of the state. The Upland Police Department are group stalking with children. That is what is appalling about this. And it is nothing other than that entirely demented pattern of conduct. And it is facilitated, I want to be clear, there is no changing, there is no altering, there is no deviation from what is demented. And you are looking at the same exact pattern of conduct, and the Upland Police Department are engaging in that with the children in the state of California. That is what you are witnessing as I capture that in still images. You are looking at the same exact setting. And I want to be clear, while the entity is stalking by helicopter, that's what you're going to remember, where they're terrorizing, engaging in criminal summoning, engaging in this terrorism while holding the hands of children. That's what the demon possessed do. That's why you're going to strip them of the ability, strip them of the threats that they pose to the public. This is a very sick population. This is Satan. All right, this is Satan. While you have what is an old minion, he's got a gray suit on, gray hair, balding. He's monitoring with the Upland Police. He's monitoring with San Bernardino County Fire. He's engaged in criminal summoning right now, and he'll go to federal prison while he also engaged in that exposing children in that terrorizing environment, targeting another American citizen. That's what these demons are doing. In addition to that, I don't care about the demon-possessed minions that these little children are. That's not what this is about. This is about the corruption, the delinquency, the inclusion of children in that satanic targeting system. And that's what this old man, speaking about the fact that he's a veteran, while he is engaging in un-American conduct. Nothing honorable about him. This is a demon who was maliciously targeting another with the Upland Police, who at this very exact same location under the fake sun. That remains until after 6:30 p.m., not the sun, and that's also a demon, who was in the presence of children and using them, monitoring with them under the fake sun and engineered light. Where the Upland Police flying over my head, stalking and terrorizing by helicopter. Nothing compassionate, sweet, or innocent, or different about that pattern of conduct. It's the exact same one. And you just listen to Criminal Summoning. This is P.O.C. It's 9:13 a.m. All right, the minion, the gray-haired minion, that is, she actually got entrance into Upland Public Library right now at 9:14 a.m. I want to be clear, while this minion is engaging what is monitoring me and approaches me as they are, this is a demon that's hostile as I'm documenting this criminal that is speaking, talking about he's a veteran. While he's engaged in criminal summoning, he's going to federal prison for that. And this is speaking to, again, how you are, there is nothing honorable about the demon-possessed engaging in this criminal system and the levels of malice that they engage in while it's underway. It's despicable what this minion is engaging in and doing it in and around and using via children with the Upland Police. And as I'm capturing this image, you have this demon that's in front of the Upland Public Library entrance. She's coming all the way over toward me and telling me, can you please not take pictures of the children when I'm capturing this speaker? I got very close-up images of him. He's the one engaging in criminal summoning. He's in relevant position. He is in direct relevant position under the fake sun. This is the same exact pattern of conduct that I'm documenting him engaging in, and I'm also going to prosecute him while he's including children in that terrorism with the Upland Police. This is all matter of what is magnifying the level of psychopath stalking conduct and targeting. And in addition to that, so what I want to speak to is, so I document that. And this minion that's over at the entrance of the Upland Public Library, she is coming over and she is engaging in what is harassment. While they are including children to monitor me, she is talking about, can you not take pictures of the children because they're not 18, while you are stalking and monitoring via the children. This is what I mean by a psychopath. This is what I mean by that. That's why they go to federal prison. That is also harassment. She could have come over and said, oh my goodness, I like your phone. That is so cute. Where did you get that? Oh yeah. It doesn't matter what she's saying, she's monitoring. Okay. And it is the passive aggressive conduct of a demon who is hostile to your documentation, which they know exactly what you're documenting. But in addition to that, I am capturing what is this minion that is, while I'm in public, while they have children out in public, while there is absolutely nothing unlawful while I'm doing, actually to the contrary, they are targeting and monitoring me with the Upland Police. Okay, and then you're talking about what's a demon that's focused on me while she should be looking at these these children that she's using to engage in what is stalking and targeting. And Satan, again, you're defeating yourself while you're stalking and monitoring with children, doing so in a method that's entirely malicious. This is another high form of malice, and doing so while then I document that, and then you're mad because I document it. And I'm exposing every method that they engage in. So you thought that I wasn't going to document that? This is what I'm dealing with, Satan. I'm exposing this demon-possessed entity. So you thought that I wasn't going to document that, or that I would not be able to strip down what you're doing and still document it? It's not like it's different because you included children under the fake sun and in directed light, where the Upland Police are stalking and monitoring me by helicopter. You thought I wasn't going to be able to put that together? It's not different. It's the highest level of malice, and I'm also showing you what is the absolutely nauseating level of being entirely despicable while the demon-possessed are in positions that they have no business in, posing threats to the lives of the children that they're in custody of. You're targeting somebody, you're harassing them as an entity, you're stalking with helicopters, and then the next day you want to bring children around that target individual while you're a group stalking them together. You're endangering the life of that child. And then you're going to be documented, and then you want to engage in another level of harassment while you are a whole psychopath doing that. All right, so you have what is, she's over 18 and she runs away. She doesn't want me to capture her image while she's engaging in that. So I want to document that. And that is again, nothing honorable about this minion who's engaging in criminal summoning. He's going to federal prison, and I captured close-up images of him. That is what I want to make sure that I get, because that's exactly what I've spoken of before. While they are stalking in bathrooms, using children, I've shown you the fake sun that remains over the Upland Public Library all day long. These minions are pacing in and around, terrorizing another, molesting another in directed light, doing it with children, okay, via children. And then on the other hand, they want to say, can you not document? Because they're not over 18, while they are exposing them and using them, sending them in the bathroom, knowing that they're going to be documented. This is what the people of the state do. Okay, this is, like I said, I'm revealing what are the methods of documentation, and this is why they're going to federal prison. This is why they're going to have nothing to do with what is children that are, in the industry where children are relevant. You're talking about the school district. I mean, driving a school bus. I mean, a janitor in a school. You can't even hose down the sidewalk outside of a school. You're talking about what is a threat. And I'm showing you the demon-possessed are violent sex offenders. In addition to that, the ways in which they are using and including children in that violence. It's not enough that they're doing it to an American citizen. They want to bring all the kids along and monitor you and target and terrorize you with the police, with children. Okay, there's multiple levels of sick and reprehensible conduct there. Anyway, it's currently 9:20 a.m. This is P.O.C. at the Upland Public Library. If the entity stalking in the bathroom, it's 1:24 p.m. And you'll see in my, this is already the pattern of conduct that's already established. These are demons that are stalking in the bathroom and doing on behalf of the police, okay? And this is criminal surveillance, and this is speaking to the prosecution for the people of the state. Every method of the people who are stalking, this is companies. Union Pacific's being documented. So I've established that what I'm showing is that they are sex offenders stalking in the bathroom. But moreover, what I did capture, even though I've already established this, I took pictures of the fake sun directly above my head as I stood at the circulation desk where Carissa, who was stalking in the bathroom right now, she's a sex offender, and Kiki, the same, the African-American female, group stalking, a demon engaging in what is criminal surveillance in a bathroom, a demon that knows that my panties are down, a demon that is engaging in what is crossing in path conduct entirely demonic, this is terrorism in the bathroom, and doing so under the fake sun, which is not over the roof of the up in public library at 1:17 p.m. It is over D Street in order to be at that window directly over me, and you're also looking at what is the exact same position of the directed light and the shape of the windows as though the fake sun is directly above the roof. As I said, those are two distinct methods of stalking with light. Speaking to the presence of demons who fill the venue and the presence of a demon stalking in the bathroom on behalf of the entity. That ain't the sexual violence of Carissa. All right, monitoring with the minions who are all on surveillance cameras. In addition to that, at 1:17 p.m., you will recall the fake sun is over the Fontana Lewis Library in Fontana, California. As I'm documenting Officer Summers with the Fontana Police Department, I'm documenting what is Stephanie Ortiz, who's going to federal prison, because on that day, April 29, 2022, those demons were stalking in the bathroom as well. That is what is also a very much of standing out of showing you what has nothing to do with the placement of the fake sun and the placement of directed light inside of the library in Upland, California. As you'll also recall, I left the Fontana Lewis Library on April 29th, and I got on Route 66, and I came to the Upland Public Library later in the day. You're talking about after 4 p.m. But yet again, as I continuously document, while the Upland police are stalking me by helicopter, those demons are stalking in the bathroom on behalf of that Upland Police Department right now, okay? It is 1:26 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. That's a sex offender, all right? And that demon is engaging in what is the predatory and sexually perverted conduct of using a toilet. This is how pathetic the demon-possessed are, to stalk me with audible activity. All right, that's a sex offender. It is 1:26 p.m., 1:27 p.m. This is P.O.C. Okay, you'll see this old, wrinkly, ragged demon. She is literally maintaining presence, standing outside in perfect alignment with me of the bathroom stall while she is stalking in the bathroom. This is a second demon that walks in. These are demons who are now pacing. Understand what I'm showing you, what they're doing in vehicles, what they're doing walking up and down the stairs. This is what the demons are doing in the bathroom. And she is not only after she's engaging in what is following that other demon while they're monitoring documentation. This is the sex offender that's engaging in that, in no way deterred by being documented. This is federal prison and psych wards for violent sex offenders, the people of the state. And so you have what is the entity stalking in the bathroom, and this particular actor engaging in what is terrorism. She's maintaining specific presence in front of the bathroom door that I am inside of the stall. And then this is when, as I begin opening it, this is when she begins to walk out. And as I capture in images, she's walking out in directed light. She's crossing paths. She's monitoring the entire time. And this is a violent sex offender that is aware of the fact that she's being documented as well. This is captured at 1:30 p.m. It's 1:31 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, exiting Upland Public Library at 6:46 p.m. It's 6:46 p.m. right now, so 6:45, 6:46 p.m. I just walked out right now. 6YPR 256, 7G 90638. (7YJC 326). PHARMIP 5BUE 116, GD 975, handicap. Go ahead, you go ahead. Yeah, I read that already. 86536V2, 7CHN 272, 6YPR 256, 7BXU007. T16, I can't really see that one, that's out of state. Can't see it. 7CAW 973, 8DHG 414, 8URT 226, 8XUT 020, BF 01X70, paper. License 7YXF 826. FJH045, 8EKS 725, 7YTM 523. AETS 75, let's see, 4MCX947, 9AEA456, 8THG596, 7THH, 7T, hold on, 7THH746, yeah, 8DHG414, write that one, 5ZWS900, MZMUNN, JAKESJK, and it's 6:48 p.m. License 8 TCR 117. I read that one. 78GW. I can't say the rest of them. 6WJV 175. 6RBJ 530. 7SLX 048. 8PAN 637. 4ZPM 122. 8MWA 095, 8EKX 595, 8LEA 876, 64788K3. Eight PCH 954, 6WDR 926. It's Metrolink. And that's sounding at 6:50 p.m. That's amplification. It's impossible audible activity. And it's occurring in directed light. So that is indeed the documentation of what is the people of the state active by Metrolink. License 7UEP930. And Metrolink is molesting with these demons whose license plate I'm reciting. License plate 8LME264, 8XTS587, 94476A1, 8JGY021, GRANT90, 2H, 1LOVE, 8VXN129, 7FAZ235, 8THB843, 7WMA462, I believe, 7TWK299, 8VOF549, 5UPY789, 8EAH561, 6PTU667, 8NNE213, 38528382. And all these demons that are driving on a road, molesting with directed light, these demons are the ones that are stalking in the bathroom. And that's why you're talking about federal prison and psychiatric wards when they're prosecuted. 6MOJ743, very violent sex offenders, highly demented, entirely predatory and sick. 7TPA112. And that goes for what is Metrolink, like I said, prosecuting companies. They represent the people of the state, and they are fully engaging in, while the guise under which demonic activity, which is terrorism. Metrolink is the amplified audible activity, excuse me, while these demons are molesting me with directed light. All right, and again, remember, Metrolink is monitoring with the Upland Police Department, facilitating the ability for the police department to threaten my life, place me under surveillance, and monitor as the demons that they are with these demons together. All of them molesting, surrounding, terrorizing with directed light, including Ryder, whose license plate is ripped off the front. The end of it is 4548. It's Indiana. It's Caucasian. I don't know if that's a Caucasian or a dark-skinned Latino male with a bald head. He's wearing a cap and directed light swiping across the asphalt. That's a threat. Right? It's not different than anybody aiming some sort of weapon towards you. It's a terrorizing threat while they're monitoring documentation. 8VAJ868, 96639C2, 7HMK785, 8RNE995, 6NIE647. And this is I'm documenting ongoing impunity. All right? DEADHDZ. Eight LSS036, 6FDR787, 6KCZ712, 8HVV955, 7LHT953, 8RRG913. And you witnessed this, well, I've shown it in hundreds of videos, but the specifically what they're doing while they're molesting, reaching out toward me, this is the obsessed stalker that follows me around in helicopters. That obsession is illustrated, it's personified through the directed light while they're stalking me. 8PDW219, it's reaching across the asphalt. I'm laughing because it's pathetic, not because it's funny. 7VJH465, 8NNW851, and this is the pathetic conduct of a demon-possessed population who are all stalking together. This is that terrorizing system which the police are engaging in while the people of the state are group stalking with them on their behalf, vicariously, in other words. This is conduct that is documented in video. The Upland Police are group stalking, engaging in criminal summoning, as I documented right over here in front of the private residences as I was exiting the Upland Public Library. This is days ago. And as those demons, who one of them refuses to give me their name, you see these demons that I'm documenting now, and that directed light across the curb, they're touching my thighs, touching my body with that. That's exactly what you saw in video. 7PMR616, 8GIL920, 7TGG709, 88854D3, 6JXY158, 8RQA698, 8NRRCHY, 8FP-995-B, 8FCND54, I believe. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. American Medical Response, ARP0099, I believe. That's not AMR's license. 7TUW517, 7VBB. I can't really see the rest of them. 8UQK643, 5JAM931, 8FMW923, 9AWH542, 6ZC. I can't see the rest of them. You can scratch that one too. 74977V1. 8FNW689. Like I said, it's not separate from what I documented while the demon-possessed Upland Police Department were group stalking pursuant to criminal summoning with this demon-possessed entity. That's impossible that light would ever occur, that would ever happen. This is what the people of the state are doing vehicle after vehicle. This is group stalking. It's a state system. And they're violent sex offenders. 8WPE340 who stalk in bathroom stalls while they know you're documenting it. 8FBY926, 9BDJ957. License 5VAY900, 7NLN989, and just as you see in that video with the Upland Police, they're doing so on behalf of the sex-offending demon-possessed entity that is the Upland Police Department, okay? Using their demon-possessed police officers and those who are stalking me by helicopter, who are very much interested unlawfully and what's going on with my panties in the bathroom while these demons stalk in the bathroom stalls. 5MWM551, 7LZW295, 7PSX147, 8PDB919, 8WND540. And as I have stated, you're talking about while I'm documenting those who are subject to federal prison and in going to what are the mental wards, the mental institutions where they belong. That's exactly how you're going to treat what the people of the state engage in, which is a matter of objective evidence. I've shown you what is this molestation, this terrorism with directed light, while you're maintaining ongoing knowledge, while you are literally engaging in what is exhibiting impunity. That impunity, that is a matter of evidence as well. That's going to exactly where you belong. While you try to pose an argument, no, I'm not crazy. I wasn't stalking. I didn't know that she was being touched with light. That's why you document, and they're going to mental institutions. 67236W1, 7JLJ579, 3SUD841, 8SDN448. Molesting every single last one of them. Omnitrans is crossing path, loitering at what is Euclid Avenue and Arrow Highway at 6:57 p.m. San Antonio Regional Hospital is molesting as well. They're group stalking in a vehicle, crossing path. The same exact demon possession. Same exact criminal activity. 6XLT095, 8DUE718. 8DUE718. License 8KJM189. 7KVA412. All right, and this is a sex offense with regard to what is every single last one. You're talking about one molestation after another. That's a perpetual sex offender. All right, who has kids? 7ZOF010. That's relevant when I prosecute them. 8WPZ317. License 6VKT529 while they demonstrate that impunity. 8YJH450. That's relevant when I prosecute them. License 7SLM165 8FIW 315 7VPT 614 05047G3 5LRY 384 07838H3 GLS. License 4WKU 319 8VEL 814. All right, every single last one of them are monitoring, and I want to be clear, molesting as well. The people of the state at 477 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. The people of the state at 461 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, molesting. They're violent sex offenders engaging in the same exact sex offense, monitoring on a communication device with the Upland police, with the demons who are molesting me in impossible light. Because not only would the sun never be present over the same venue, aiming light into the same exact venue, or having any vantage point where light is ricocheting off of the passenger side of your car, reaching onto the asphalt, touching onto my legs, my thighs, my genitalia area, my breasts, all over the front portion of my body. None of that is ever happening. They're demons and they're sex offenders. License 88188M1, 6FLD719, 8CUC 036, 7TYM 947. Also 14 Arrow Highway in Upland, California, 22 Arrow Highway in Upland, California. I believe the address is 34 Arrow Highway in Upland, California. Documenting engaging the people of the state, engaged in the same sex offense. 6YAG 394, 7PBN 494. So is 7-Eleven. I don't have to be inside of 7-Eleven for the people of the state, that employee, those same sex offenders engaging in surveillance at that gas station, while they like to molest me while I'm inside of that 7-Eleven as well. It's the same P.O.C. 8ZDL 184, and they're monitoring right now. 7ZUH 971, 7PGC 701, 8KHC 913, 9AJY 467, 7PSV 707, 7RZH 036, 8HOY 821, XOM 65KA, LOVE JM2, and I have many of their images showing them to be the sex offenders. I want you to see them as I document them. LVEOW5, I believe that's a Nevada license plate. License JBKGARG. You have impossible light activity just moving across the grass while these demons are pacing behind, walking on the sidewalk. Old white folks, demon possessed, group stalking, 7SDA 669, 8FJA 693, 8KTV 501. And it's currently 7:01 p.m. License 5NYT887, 8BYF952. And it is currently 7:01 p.m. And again, this is molesting, ongoing molestation. This is terrorism and harassment by an entity who is monitoring with the Upland Police, including the people of the state, where I'm located at 477 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. Omnitrans has arrived, license 1404973, bus 1329. 8CDC 983, 8XQP 182, 750 and 73. It's 7:02 p.m. 6HTU 804, 4NINERL, I believe, 8ZUD 346. Ow, ow, ow. Sorry, I have my foot. It's 7:05 p.m. HYF 996, 8UNV Sierra 8ZIU 041. EPE 484, 8R RB 701, 7WPF 393, 7XHY 247, 7KZE 7KZF 994. Or is that an E? 7KZ
you got the F, 994. Eight VGH 149. AYMK. I can't see the rest of that one. Press that. 8 RCE 178. F4N. Can't even see the rest of it. 8 RZY 034.
F Street.
91411L2. This is employee number 3808. This is a female, appears to be a Latina female. Again, that's employee 3808. WZ. Can't see the rest of them. 4 SYS 141. 7M SY 446. 8 RQN 720. Or 8 RDN 720. 9 BJZ 059. That's 8 RDN 720. 8 GSS 896, 8 WFN 167, 8 ATD 054. Alright, this employee is creating ongoing audible activity. Just having a field day with the horn while she's driving down the street, and the entity is aiming ongoing flashing directed light through the bus and keeping the fake sun along the same exact street in alignment with me on the bus back to the Euclid and Hall Boulevard, where the fake sun begins over me in the morning. On the same street. It's 7:11 p.m. License. Oh, no license. Covering it up. This is, we're at, what is C Street? Yeah, C Street and Euclid Avenue right now. It's 7:11 p.m.
Ontario Civic Center.
The light is green. She's just honking and honking and honking.
83.
ATEK 661. So I'm gonna tell you what that is. Indirect light, and it's audible activity. She's monitored clearly, but I just want to be clear. 30276E3. There's not even any form for why she's incessantly honking like that. Usually form meaning another minion monitoring with her as though they're holding her up, so she has form for why she's incessantly honking. None of that's going on. She's just honking her horn. This is a demon. Anyway, it's currently 7:12 p.m. Excuse me. All right, again, that employee 3808, monitoring, license plate 1404973, bus 1329. That is ongoing harassment. You're understanding what's the substance of the conduct that people are engaging in around you, and it is helping the police who are placing you under surveillance. That is terrorism, okay? And in addition to what is entirely demented, you got a bunch of freak weirdos who are doing things all around you while they're monitoring you. And they're also doing that to harass you while they're placing you under surveillance. And in my case, which is going to be relevant to federal law and how you prosecute, the entity's doing it while an American citizen is in the process of documenting the government. 8NMD425, that's relevant to employee 3808, her conduct, her audible activity. She can say that there was any sort of red light breaks. They're all monitoring together. The use of brake lights is intentional conduct while they're monitoring together. The state's controlling the traffic lights. The state's controlling the presence of everyone who are here stalking the targeted individual. There is no legal argument. But I want to be clear, that's a minion that was just creating ongoing audible activity. 8TXN710, 7VES817. That is, it's currently 7:14 p.m. That is Union Pacific, 88JG199, who's engaging in a sex offense. As they are all night long, by the way. The ongoing molestation, and I'm being molested now. This is not the sun that will be at the same venue. I'm across the street from where the sun is supposedly rising in the morning. 4J45336, 7ZEG745, 8PCF771, 7GBM726, 8EKR880, a sex offender, 6NGX602, 7PZL448, 52855B3. And it is 7:14 p.m. Route 61, that's Omnitrans. They're loitering in relevant position, monitoring, while that ongoing amplified audible activity is created. That is, I've already documented, that's actually demonic activity. The Union Pacific, the train, is not even one that is sounding that horn. That you're witnessing Satan in the same way while I'm showing you directed light, you're witnessing Satan. All right, Satan creates a soundtrack in that environment. License 39579B2, and Union Pacific is going to be prosecuted for it. FATS 392. 1545838, bus 2359, African American female monitoring, engaging in terrorism while you have a demon that's over here stalking in the path. All right, sitting there stalking with light. That's what they do while I'm at the museum. While they're at the Roll House Enterprises, this is license again 52855B3. License 8WTV376. That's federal prison. That's the Ontario Police doing that. 7RKL379. 5 U.S.C 823. License 57817F2. 8ZLS 780. 82331K1. 7XEH404. License 7S27769. License 7RNY469, 04496G3. Mestiza Cakehouse and Cafe, they're monitoring. U744Z0, CB82891, I believe. And the Ontario Police are group stalking via that demon that is keeping their foot on the brake. That's stalking with light in the path, indirected light under the fake sun. Doing so on behalf of the demons of the Ontario Police Department. I understand that. And the Ontario Police will go to federal prison for that. And the people of the state who are doing so by proxy will go to federal prison for that. All right. And I'm also documenting a bunch of minions who are engaging in stalking on behalf of the Ontario Police by license plate, one demon after another, which is what they're doing all night long while I'm at the museum. License 7236781, 8PCH413, 7FAS489, 6SXK735, 1163312, 7UQD915, 8HJF301, 6YAA687, 6HKY477, 5ENY843, 4WVZ290, 8TEZ978, 7DMK683, 8MHV897, 5L26835, and 52855B3, loitering, keeping their foot on the brake, engaging and terrorizing you in your face, and they go to federal prison for that. And an American citizen will prosecute the people of the state for engaging in that very facilitation with the police. 57971F1, 6VAK454, 8TWN727, 5CHN016, 8PDU066, I believe. License 8NGP394. And license 52855B3, who remains and now turns on her hazard lights, which is light activity, 6VLZ979, it's a Latina female. And she's group stalking, creating light activity, and doing so on behalf of the Ontario Police, and she's going to federal prison. 7CGC161, 7FKB830, 7YUA331, 8VMA050, BN51U32. License 57086J1, 8JFH 405, 4YLT 573, 97859U1, 71503Z1, 9ATV358, 7WAK 186, 8VWS 257, 8WAE 486, 6PTX 952, 36007L3, 8KAU 281, 8DDK 638, 8VAL 772, Omnitrans 1302442. This is an ongoing sex offense. They're all molesting together. They're a bunch of demons engaging in what is a demonic orgy. There's directed light all over the place. They're crossing path, driving in directed light, and also stalking the path with light activity. And license 52855B3, engaging in ongoing loitering. And she's going to federal prison. That's why I'm continuously documenting her license plate while she's loitering and engaging in what is impunity. All right. License 8DCF 972. That's an ongoing threat to your life, so you're going to prosecute for that. All right, 00262B2. Every minute matters. The government is threatening you with helicopters, threatening your life, like they're going to drop bombs on you. 97062Z1, and you're going to sit around and threaten? No, you're going to sit around in federal prison. That's how serious that is. 6RBL556, and the entity just does it day in and day out as I'm revealing, and they're going to sit in federal prison day in and day out. 6RRB375, 5985OS2, many in psychiatric wards day in and day out where they belong. Okay, it is currently 7:19 p.m. License 6X, I can't really see that one. 8WLC 612, 7FYM 523, 7KZW 970. SJ Distributors Incorporated. You can't see their license plate, but that's the name of that business. 8CWB 207. That's the name of that business. It's a commercial vehicle. Little small little white truck. Group stalking. And I captured a still image. You can see the fake sun hovering right here over my face. You can even see the glare of the fake sun hovering over this building. License 15734S1. License 1302442-8VFG026. CCZOK35 paper. 6SFG124. 86422Z2. 6UIF718. 52855B3 is crossing path again. 7DEU376. All right, so she's loitering and then she drives around the block. She's still monitoring while she drives around the block. That's called being in the perimeter. That's called crossing path. That's a demon that's pacing. While I'm specifically identifying her criminal activity, she's doing so on behalf of the people. And then she crosses path again, which is criminal in and of itself, while she's monitoring documentation. All relevant to where she's going when she's prosecuted, which is federal prison. 8MOT801, 8RAE226, 8UND806, 50077J3. GNW 6857 Texas, 8MBU 544, 8RKS 8RKS 842, 5CDW 685. Eight FWH 771, 7 LYC 697, 6 TDC 109, 8 VUH 140, 976 LUU, that's Nevada, 8 XFS 124, 8 TBH 202, 7 D33977, 8 TWF 125, 8 KKZ 968, 4 A17568, 8 BZD 016, 8 PWK 285, 8 NMW 756, I believe, 6 J53261, 7 ZGN 713, 6 ANW 183. Yeah, that's 8 UND 806. That's Satan. Okay, it's the same thing with the train. It's demonic activity. All right, I'm showing you what is a picture of impunity. All right, while demons surround me with noise, doing so while I turn around and begin walking, that's a demon that's stalking with audible activity. And that demon is blasting music. That's a threat to your life. 8ZQE 843. The Ontario police are capable to, or more enabled to monitor me more effectively while demons exercise such impunity, demonstrate such impunity. Blasting your music in directed light, the ongoing, for example, that demonic sound you hear, that loud revving of an engine, that's actually demonic. Right? It's on a microphone. And it occurs at the same time I engage in a new movement, which is walking after standing still. Okay? That's the P.O.C. Again, that's license, who I took a picture of. 8 UND 806. 8 RAE 226. 8 JKL 107. That's a very heavy Latino male. Okay, big boy. 8MBU544, a big demon, rather. 8RKS842. 7VVY 349, 6VRN 368, 8UCP 702, 4W8B, I can't really see that one, 8ZHW 954, BM02Y85, paper 5EGC 452, 6H57800, license 7HOU 150, 7TWP 838, 7MJK 092, 7SFD 181, 8HOY 723. License. And this is how you know, but again, I want to reiterate, this is how you know that you are surrounded by demons who are, and it's all about you, because you have a fake sun over all of them, because you have inexplicable light sitting in the middle of the intersection, as I've shown you. That's how you know they're all stalking you. It's all about you. This is the demon-possessed population. This is entirely pathetic. 07858T1, 7ZZZ963, 8TPA028. License 7DQN974 with minor children. That's a sex offender. 6TLV736, I believe. That's a sex offender engaging in terrorizing someone else, a demon, okay? Very demented, engaging in this criminal system and bringing along children to do so. That's what you saw those third parties doing today at the Open Public Library. License plate 8UTP988, 7BHA746. 7PQM841, 7ADF511, bringing children into the environment, into the criminal setting where you are helping police officers target and place under surveillance and threaten the life of an American citizen. And you hold children's hand, you bring them into that threatening environment, both endangering them and threatening the life of an American citizen. That's directly relevant to how you're going to prosecute, where they go to federal prison, where they go to psychiatric wards, where they belong based on their criminal activity. All right, and you're also removing children from that sort of threat that they pose to them. 5NEE830, 8HOY723, BJOOEAY, 6VBV746, 3763-1L3, 91302C3, 7VPJ538, 7T, I can't really see that one. 8MSX691. License 6HGL686, 6UYV376, I believe. 407-82G2, 8YIR626, 6XET108, 8NKM292. Seven HOX164, 6KZM807, 5XHM098, 7ECA968, 4KAJ141, 05529H2, 8WDF563, 8BHH821, 8MSW647, 7ZAY623, 7PZU080, 7MMN443, 84383G1, 5BHU306, BV90Z14. Ontario Fire is stalking with a minion that's stalking with light over here. Loitering at Mestiza Cake House, and Ontario Fire is supplementing that light activity. There are demons just like captured day in and day out, and this morning. 8NRP637, 7RWW829, 40430B3. You had another demon replacing the other one who I captured in a picture, group stalking over here with their foot on the brakes. Another demon over here with their hazard lights on, stalking. 8UVH219. As soon as they drive off, those demons that are the Ontario Fire Department cross path. They're already stalking by the corner right there. They're just stalking, waiting. That demon's waiting to sound sirens on a fire truck. That's literally what Satan is doing. Those are puppets. License plate. This is Amazon Prime engaging in criminal summoning. 48817J3. 8FNA558. 8TKY017. 8VZA471. 7KCY119. This is DUKE215. T-Mobile, they're all engaging in criminal summoning in 101 Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California. They're engaged in criminal summoning. They're engaged in ongoing sex offense. They're monitoring while Union Pacific is the guise under which what is a demonic level of the demonic level of volume. It's audible activity. 98QR083, and they are in relevant position monitoring. E771GO, 3TIX826, 7LFB285. License 8KPZ028, 8EGV116. And license 7MNA682, 7EPV405, I believe. Can't really see that one included though. 6 BNV 897, I believe. Let's see. License 6KPU 100. And again, DUKE215, criminal summoning. 7MNA 682, criminal summoning. 7EVP 405, criminal summoning. 7C XA 534, 7WGH 178, 8VAX 143, 7DKE 455, 8SXR 161, all of them criminal summoning. So what's the difference between the demons driving the Ontario Fire Department vehicle and the demons whose license plate I'm reading while they're stalking in alignment with me on the sidewalk with their hazard lights on? Literally the position of being a demon that works at a fire department. That's the only difference. They're demons stalking with light. 7D73348, they're monitoring together as well. This is state surveillance amongst the demon possessed. 6JVW 740, 6HPE 026, 8MWM 551, 6XAP 356, 3NCC 100, 8WKP 271, 5Z 87684. It's the same thing with Omnitrans. They're driving a bus, a means of public transportation. They're stalking with light activity. Demons driving a fire truck, sound sirens, stalking with light activity. License 8XTS 381, 8PZY 727, 1586699. License 7AKT 799, 50466T1, 8EVC 228, 6TNL 52. 6G51982, he's going to federal prison. 4VCU 662. 7745082, he wants to be heard so bad, so you can listen to this because you are going to federal prison. He's engaged in criminal summoning, an ongoing sex offense, and he's posing an impermissible threat. Stalking, and he is not deterred by being documented. He's worthy of being placed where he belongs in federal prison. That's where he's going. While he's doing the bidding of the Ontario Police Department, stalking on their behalf, engaging in surveillance on their behalf, they're going to federal prison, and so is that third party, a part of the same pool of defendants that I continue to collect. License 8XAF 813, the same. 6W77121. They're a bunch of psychopaths just swirling all around. This is pacing. This is pacing on a large scale. That's what traffic is. License 30375C3, 5KLS 848, 8UQK 643. Same with FedEx 59695D3. License 4ZPZ 871. License 8XXW 880, 8FZG 774, 7LFE 882, FORWUT 6XSN 779, 7WPN 638, 7KBR 403. Stalking at what is right across the street from the Valley Spa, the Verizon, stalking with light. So is Omnitrans. It's not different because the logo Omnitrans is on it, which I've thoroughly documented that those are demons operating buses stalking the path with light. And by the way, where the government's engaging in surveillance, there is no legal argument that you're engaging in anything other than the elements of monitoring. That's how Satan is placing you under surveillance. That's how the police are doing it, through what is the guise of what is supposed to appear on the surface as normal everyday society. But I've shown you that these demons are not normal at all while they spit out directed light. 5XTHER, 7CLM264, 6LMZ892, 88LT099. And that's how Satan betrays itself, wants to appear as though you're normal. You want to argue that, but you forgot what you were just doing when I was documenting you outside. You're all demons stalking with directed light. All right, that's the beauty of documentation. That's the purpose of documentation. 8TEK661 is the demon that's engaging in that, stalking with light. 45700, 3HQF096. 6H18624, 9AHE981, 6XXJ269, 8TCX951. This is Jet Communications. Jet Communications license 4RTW752. 5V36439, 8PCF753, 7ECR451.
8THD050, 8ATD054, 8XVZ236. I want to be clear, every employee, every customer, they're on surveillance cameras inside of T-Mobile, which is just one venue, because there's more. There's the Botanica San Judas Tadeo, the Sabor Jadureño, the Ontario Boxing Club, the Richest Secondary and Loan, the Pawn Shop, Pirate Staffing, Apes Fitness, 7ALP338. They're all in relevant position. The United States Postal Service, they are still in relevant position monitoring, where the fake sun is remaining over the same place where I'm showing you at 945. It's over me at their office, at their 123 West Hope Boulevard. That's the feds engaging in the pattern of conduct. They're demons. But nonetheless, this is where they're engaged in criminal summoning. So this is where I'm at. I just want to be clear, because my documentation is more than just these demons whose license plates I'm capturing. You're talking about, what is that? A wide-spreading documentation of the criminal act together. 8XVZ236, 5MKV741, CBM9301. That's Washington. 9AOA559. They're monitoring inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. They're engaged in criminal summoning. 8KAD482. The security guards working inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, the company Securitas, engaged in criminal summoning. License 7ZLY. I can't see the rest of that one. They're monitoring in relevant position while the entity keeps a fake sun over me and direct the light all on this asphalt. All of these demons are monitoring together. Okay, 8PQG843, 7YNK971, Metro 102 Apartments, Ontario Town Square Townhomes, the B&G Plaza. License 9APZ926, 8MUK601, 61209R2, 8TCK097, 9AZR040, 8YJZ342, 53387W2. It's the same thing with the venue of Imperial Lofts, American Legion, 6KPU100, 92543U1, 41435B3, 3NBU244, 9ADM850, 5SJU035, 8WXH704, 7MWP212. License 9ALM410, 8VQV600, 8AJM294, 8TIP320, 7KNG283, 8SOK764, 8AJM294, stalking with light activity. You have different faces, the same demon possessions. This is demonic activity, remember that. And it's achieving what's a criminal system. And this is literally on behalf of the Ontario Police Department. They are the ones placing American citizens under surveillance. I'm in the jurisdiction of Ontario. The Ontario Police are group stalking and monitoring with these demons who are stalking in this manner and doing so with light. 8LBM873, and that includes Uber. They're bearing Uber and Lyft. I'm prosecuting those companies as well, while that demon 8AJM294 is stalking with light activity. 6ENS846, 8P97101, 8JAK718, 7RUF754, license 8EZM268. What the people of the state, of any state, all right, none other than but first of all, what's going to be companies and just the country in general, based on what is revealed. First of all, that demonic activity is real. Second of all, that in the United States, the country is engaging in monitoring American citizens. So you're going to need to be careful about who you're letting wear your company logo. They just let anybody go around engaging in what is Uber and Lyft. And guess what? That works well when you're facilitating state surveillance, which nobody knows is underway. But now you will be held accountable for it. Letting any demon wear that sticker on their vehicle is subjecting you to prosecution. All right, civilly and criminally. License 7LZS546, stalking with light. In addition with Omnitrans, license 1399982. 8KNY283, 5MCF281, 03476P2, 8CTH407. And stalking with light, this big one right here, monitoring with the minions. That's 7ZLS546. That's a picture of facilitation. All right, this overweight minion who does not exercise, you can tell by her size. She's monitoring me, and she's monitoring while Omnitrans is creating light activity, which is a threat. While this demon over here, 7LZS546, is creating light activity surrounding me. That's a threat. They're acting in concert. And these demons are pacing. 7YVN123, 6PFB359, 7XIV551. That's why they go to federal prison. That's exactly why. 8UGE666. That's called impunity. 72893W.
I can't see the rest on. And again, this is bus 1268 1399982. Omnitrans engaging in kidnapping, still for years, engaging in what is ongoing state surveillance and threatening conduct, harassment with the Ontario Police and the Fontana Police Department, as I just documented the other night. I have documented many of their employees specifically on video, by employee number, by images, and they are going to federal prison. And this impunity is an ongoing demonstration as to why. Okay? It is currently 7:37 p.m. The people of the state acting via Omnitrans, those employees engaging in that criminal conduct. It is literally state surveillance under the name of Omnitrans buses. And you're talking about what is criminal conduct that is underway, and they are in no way deterred or no way respectful of any American citizens' human rights or constitutional rights, 7SJN 252. And they are very violent sex offenders. Directed light, as I've demonstrated that, psychopaths belonging in federal prison, belonging in psychiatric wards. All right, based on the conduct that I have documented that they are doing. All right, license 6VND 795, and Omnitrans is monitoring to that amplified audible activity. That's Satan. Okay, and this is Satan 7LZS 546, stalking with flashing light. All right, license 7GMR 359. License 7191554. I read that one already. 8GYB 793. 8EEY 237, 12608B2, 7DVD 547, 8M3, I can't really see that one, 6ABN 216, U308CA, that's Utah, 6WHM 203, 6FWV 342, 7MLG 858, 7MEG 601, 6F, I think I read that one already, but 6FWV 342, 8NID 412. All right, group stalking with Omnitrans, that's FedEx. I captured that. License 8YNV 250, 7KSM 388, 8VML 176, RNO 3941, RXLSS, 8NCP 946, 6GAV 635, 6YFV 669. What you'll see in my still images at 7:40 p.m. FedEx is literally flying. I already documented those demons driving by, crossing path in that method, using a plane crossing path and making a U-turn at this intersection where Omnitrans 1399982 and this demon over here at T-Mobile, who was being documented as well, 7LZS 546. They're on both sides surrounding with light activity, while FedEx is crossing path, making a U-turn in the sky, right, hovering over right here where the location is at the intersection where I'm at, and just turning back and making a U-turn. That's called pacing. And they're monitoring where the entity is surrounding me with light activity, okay? And doing so, that's at 7:40 p.m. You'll see the image of FedEx engaging in that terrorism. 8VOP031, they're group stalking, using an entire airplane to do so. 7NRM060, 7WHA336, 84489G3, I believe, 1532793. That's Omnitrans group stalking with the Ontario Police. 5PLM 576, 672792, Amazon Prime 4332483, 5U.O.C 983, and again 7LZS 546, monitoring and facilitating criminal conduct while Ontario Police intentionally cross path to communicate a threat. That's the same thing they're doing where they're stalking me all night long by helicopter. All right, and you're talking about what is, again, that ongoing pattern of conduct, very specific pattern, and also engaging what is that impermissible threat while they engage in that stalking conduct, and for which they're going to federal prison. And you're talking about also, again, those psychiatric wards. That's where those demons belong. All right, you have another plane engaging what is crossing path. That's UPS. Seconds later, they're doing donuts right here over in relevant position over this intersection. They're group stalking using airplanes. And they're group stalking with the Ontario Police. 23573H3. That's UPS. I just took an image of that. You'll see that at 7:42 p.m. And this is while the entity is engaging in what is group stalking as you document them. 6SML390, 8UJE670. They're group stalking with Ontario Police. License 7NJH894. License 8DWP 453, 8AKD 557. 48935X2, 7X26800, 5GUW 453, 5789JO,
8KHT927, 6Y85587, 9AAE243. They're all monitoring group stalking with the Ontario Police, threatening together. That's federal prison, 6UOE 668. The United States Postal Service, again, their entire venue at 123 West Holt, but they're crossing path as well. 6ROD241, 6X, I can't really see that one. 8JMJ328. Group stalking with the Ontario Police. While those demons are stalking the whole time, they're going out of their way to cross path in your face while you're documenting them. That's why they belong in federal prison. Understand what those demons are doing, okay? That's all they're doing while they're hostile as I'm documenting. And I'm going to continue to collect names because they're going to federal prison. They're going to mental institutions. That's where they belong. And they're also engaging what is criminal conduct with the Ontario Police, who are going, your 7VSL078, 8XIE783, 8RXS296, 8ZGK943, group stalking with the Ontario Police, and 7LZS546. They're engaging in what is criminal monitoring. They're on the cameras at T-Mobile, who is monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, by the way. 7ZTR160, and engaging what is criminal summoning. All of these are independent grounds of federal prison, and they're engaging what is facilitation. Those demons with their hazard lights on while they go inside of that facilitating venue and engaging in ongoing facilitation. Those are Asians. 7LZS546, that's an Asian male wearing glasses driving that white van. 8MLT801, and they're on surveillance cameras inside of that 8SEL406, and they are loitering, and it's 7:43 p.m. Pulling off. They're monitoring with the Ontario Police Department as well. License 8S01889, 5JIH133, 53535D2, 8NSH791, 7RRS126, GODELON, 5GCT466, 8CEE012, 7SNX866, 5AUK986, I believe. Yeah. 8JMJ328, 8MDY639, 8XIK601, 8WWF978, license 9AUA803, 7GTM725, 8R11238, 8CIC020, 6ABU161, 5VIS459, 8AKF016, 8PTM637, 8RBD706, 6Z, I can't really see that one. They're all monitoring group stalking, engaging in what is that ongoing harassment and intimidation with the Ontario Police, including FedEx and UPS using airplanes to engage in the criminal pattern of conduct. And they're all posing an impermissible threat as one. This is an ongoing sex offense while the entity is molesting with directed light as well. And this is the same exact entity, by the way, employee 3808. She is monitoring with the Ontario Police Department. Do you understand? She is subject to federal prison while you have what is the same entity acting via another bus. I've specifically documented employee 3808 group stalking, engaging in the incessant creation of audible activity while the demon-possessed Ontario Police are stalking and lurking while I'm on the bus and as I remain here at the intersection. That's exactly what employee 3808 was engaging in as I documented that. So I just want to be clear how you have what is an ongoing pool of defendants who are engaging in criminal conduct together, 8WYJ469, while demons are engaging in that ongoing facilitation. That's what they are facilitating, and that crime is ceaseless. So, okay, so you're talking about the demon that was engaging in what is group stalking and stalking in the path with light, which is facilitation by the police who are placing you under surveillance. It's facilitation while the entity is engaging in that group stalking conduct while they're aware of the fact that you're documenting it. Employee 3808 is documented engaging in that impunity and engaging in that ongoing loitering with the Ontario on behalf of the Ontario Police. Grounds of federal prison. 8JGG749, 6NBA638. 8NTN695, and that's just one example, okay? And I have example after example after example, okay? The entity engaging in group stalking with the Ontario Police, like David this morning, I'm documenting David right now, employee 2366, because they are acting as one. As Omnitrans has demonstrated, it is a third party. 8HQX079, but not only that, you are a third party in the specific environment. That's why you have an entirely fake sun and that which is engineered light, not sunlight, remaining all around. All right, CC69893, and that's why they engage in what is literally spitting out directed light, like the cockroaches that they are. They're freaks of nature. They're the demon possessed. This is Satan. And you're talking about Satan being identified by employee 8908, who's engaging in that criminal act, monitoring with the Ontario Police. She can go right to federal prison, as I've documented it, because that's what she was doing while I was on the bus. 7PTG372, and it's the same pattern of conduct that's underway right now. 07480G3, as she was molesting and just sounding her horn while she was literally just driving down the street.
all right, while she's monitoring. That's a threat. In the same way that the demons of the Ontario Police cross path threatening while Omnitrans is loitering. 8YBU 688. Right? License 05300B3, 7NTU 733, 8FVS 385. The criminal activity of the Ontario Police Department is made what is a liability to the people of the state. That's how this criminal system works. The police in this country are placing American citizens under surveillance, and it's terrorism. And I've shown you all of those criminal and demonic methods that the police utilize. And then you're going to break down what is the system that the people of the state are participating in. And they will all be thrown into federal prison. Every method that they are engaging in and facilitating. 5TCT 108. 5WDT 783, and you have again the ability to prosecute employee 3808, who I was on the bus with, all right, who was operating the bus that I rode to this intersection on, and the employee 2366, where I got on Route 83 this morning, and prosecuting them, those who I have specifically identified by employee number, if not video or image, and go to federal prison for the criminal conduct that I remain subject to right now, because the same entity is engaging in that P.O.C. Understand how group conduct works. 7SHS 098, 7NMZ 301, I believe. While they're engaging in what is light activity, 8BTX 142, surrounding, this is terrorism, while a bunch of freaks, weirdos, surround you with flashing light. That's what they're doing. That's what Omnitrans is doing. 5ZMA 501, I believe. 5ZMA 501, 8TVC 245. And they're doing so while then the Ontario police are intentionally crossing path in front of you. They're not going anywhere. They're driving around, they're pacing, because they're stalking all day by and stalking all night where I sleep at the museum, where this entire entity is engaging the P.O.C. I'm just standing here now gathering more names, okay? But like I said, you can document one person. I documented David this morning. I'm documenting that minion right now. He can go to federal prison for everything that I'm experiencing right now. That's how that works. It's group conduct. License plate, and it's ceaselessly underway. So while the Ontario Police is having funsies, and I'm identifying the entity that's monitoring with the Ontario Police, they're going to sit in what are psychiatric wards in federal prisons, 6KZE834, while they're group stalking together. 12787B1, it's the same with the Ontario Fire Department and American Medical Response. 9AGK587, 7SYN812, 7TFJ886, because the people of the state are violent, sex offending, group stalking psychopaths. State network over the population, 7LLK147, as they have demonstrated while I merely recorded it. And you have what is stalking with directed light, those are demons. And you have thousands of them stalking you all together, doing so on an ongoing basis. You document a demon in the morning touching you with directed light. Ontario Montclair School District. I'm documenting the minion that who's driving the bus as I am coming back to Ontario, monitoring while the Ontario Police cross path. You're talking about what is 5VDW873, the pool of defendants that already exist. I heavily documented the Ontario Montclair School District on March 14, 2022, just as one example, capturing images of them, direct evidence of who can go to federal prison for that very conduct that is ceaselessly underway on behalf of the police. Because that's what they were doing on March 14th. That's what they're doing today. 7PIW580. This is how you are prosecuting, by the way, any conspiracy, any sort of criminal cooperation. It is on a magnified level because it's group stalking. But you're going to prosecute the same way. You have a whole pool of defendants. It's 7:51 p.m. AEMU 692. P.O.C. License plate 8FXC 755. 8MYY 495, 4WVH 912. And as I have already stated, I understand that there are steps to this. There's levels to it in order for you to understand what I'm revealing to you. 6HVR 321. But you are at the point now I have revealed thoroughly every level of understanding with regard to the pattern of conduct and with regard to demonic activity and how that translates into what is prosecution for terrorism. And so with regard to what is the stalking conduct by the police who are engaging in what is surveillance and is supposed to be unbeknownst to the American citizen who is being group stalked by the people of the state, you are talking about understanding the police are always stalking. 7GPL717 is stalking with the Ontario Police right now, while I documented moments earlier the Ontario Police who visibly crossed path. Understand, they're always stalking. They're placing you under surveillance. 5TCT 108. And so understanding that, because I want you to get it, I'm documenting day in and day out. They're stalking me by helicopter. They're Ontario Police are crossing path. Ontario Police are crossing path. I'm talking about this, and at the same time, then Ontario Police are crossing path. The Ontario Police are always stalking. C015B1, and the people of the state are always stalking on behalf of the Ontario Police Department. AT&T 810. Every license plate, therefore, that I documented this morning when I did not include an Ontario Police Department vehicle is subject to federal prison. 8JLG 484. ATHE 480. That's how this works. The police are stalking through the people. 7HJZ 268. 7TME 365. They are stalking through the people. It's group stalking. They are monitoring. What you need to understand is that group stalking is a monitoring system. Oh, they're surrounding you with what are communication devices, placing you under surveillance. And they're also demons that even know what's going on with your bodily functions. Okay? While they're demonstrating their demon possession, present under a fake sun, driving in engineered light, stalking while engineered light, shooting off of your vehicle onto me, onto the... No, your demons, all of them. 2865. I can't really see that one. You express that one. They've demonstrated it themselves. 8MXA027. 7VVY349, 7PAH829. That terrorism is grounds of federal prison and grounds of being locked up in a straitjacket in a mental ward. Understand that. And I'm just giving you examples of the ways in which I have a pool of defendants, okay, to pull from. 8E18435 with regard to what is necessary as a matter of justice, as also establishing precedent. 8KXE629, 7NXJ217, 7KDM448, 7JWF819, 8LGV966, 8ABA543, I believe, 6403, 7G3, 8NNP668, 8UJJ102, 7ZBA892, 8RDD868, license 7KKY187. The entity is engaging in what is stalking on an ongoing basis on behalf of the police, whatever city that you're in, whatever location that you are at. This is what's going on in the state of California. This is what group stalking is. And not only that, I've shown you that it's not just group stalking, not just that egregious criminal conduct, but those that are specifically engaging in group stalking, which as you see, it is everyone, and there's no exception, and there is also no exception to what is their condition. Those engaging in group stalking are demon possessed. This is the work of Satan, and you are therefore understanding and witnessing what is the demon possession of a massive amount of people in the state. There is no exception. 8NMT053, license 7UHB211, license 8A12103, license 5KYJ440. So everything that I'm reciting while you're listening to me, a demon is stalking on the path with their hazard lights. This is the third party. That one drives off, and then the demons of the Ontario Fire Department supplement immediately, sounding their sirens and flashing lights. All right, and then you have what is another one that is group stalking, another one with flashing lights. This is called impunity by a bunch of demons who are stalking on behalf of the police. 6AQS389, 8GQG508, and they're demonstrating worthiness of federal prison and mental institutions. 8CSZ698. That's what you need to understand. That's what I am beyond establishing the P.O.C. This is group stalking. I've shown, if you didn't know what group stalking was, you know what it is now. We are beyond that. I'm showing you what is a necessary policy to bind Satan with. Okay? Satan is going to be dragged in a very real federal court, the federal tribunal, with evidence that you can place in a court and prosecute what is demonic at its core. 8RZE364, and it's criminal. Entirely criminal, very serious criminal activity, in addition to what is not adequately addressed under existing federal law. The fact that you are subject to what is demonic is what is relevant for. It's demonic, and it's underway by the police in this country. This is terrorism. This is terrorism, and they sought to delegate that terrorism to the people. They're all demons together. AWFH 465, 5AHB 428. 7JHB034. You are also becoming acquainted with the personality of Satan. All right, this is a psychopath that belongs in a mental ward, if not federal prison. But I suggest federal prison, especially for the police. But there are those who are demonstrating very serious mental issues while they engage in this criminal conduct. And it is exhibited, for example, while I'm documenting, you are demonstrating what is on the one hand impunity. I mean, you can analyze that in more than one way. No, it's both a psychopath that's a very dangerous criminal. The group stalking is engaged in by what is a psychopath. They're demon-possessed, highly malicious. It's a matter of public corruption. They seek to engage in what is placing you under surveillance and stalking you, but they don't want you to know it. And then you're seeing more of the psychopath. During that period, you're a psychopath, okay? But not only that, then the psychopath is mad when you know it, and then you document it. That's a psychopath. 7GXA091. 8WUH400, 7NHK384. And I just placed in the layman's terms what is the ongoing pattern of conduct that I've been documenting for a prolonged period. Psychopaths that are stalking you, group stalking you, doing so on behalf of the state. 9APZ565. And then as you enforce your rights, what are you angry about, Satan? 7LML376. Rather, what do you have the right to be angry about? 8 NED 891, because you don't have any right. You don't have any right to even report to work in relevant position. That's what you need to understand. They're operating under what is an entirely fictitious society. The police don't have any authority. They're exercising fictitious authority. And guess what? The people of the state, they don't have the rights that they are fictitiously exercising. You're not operating under individual rights. That doesn't exist. This is state surveillance. This is a breakdown of that whole illusion. And every single last aspect of that system is going to be prosecuted. Every single last ounce of it. 70560G2, 8TOW127, 50011G1. And demons are relying on, oh, I have an individual right. I have a right to. No, you don't. No, you don't, Satan. 8WHW031. And that's what I'm breaking down. And I'm doing it with regard to, with knowledge of the law. So let me legally break down what the entity is doing and how they are exercising fictitious authority, asserting fictitious rights under the Constitution. The people of the state don't have the right to report to work. They don't have the right to live in relevant position. They're placing you under surveillance. This is how the whole system exists. License 8RKK274. And therefore, where you live, okay, you can live there. That's fine. Well, actually, it's not fine, but it's fine insofar as I'm going to prosecute you. It's not a legal argument. 8J30167. Oh, yeah, you live there, all right. You sure do. And you don't have a right to while you're engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring. Prosecution. License 8ERD301. And I even went beyond that. That's the legal framework. Let me go beyond that, because I'll capture the fake son over where you live. You're a demon. You don't have a legal argument whatsoever. You also don't have a case in federal court. You don't have anything. And I'm going to prosecute you. 7HNN452. That's the whole system. That is the entirety of the system. The exercise of fictitious authority under the law by the demon-possessed police agencies who are placing you under surveillance and relying upon, by the way, the removal of 6KPD 541, the non-intrusion of the federal government, remaining ignorant about what's going on, 5RDM 964. They're relying upon that. They're relying upon the states to exercise their rights within the state and deal with it among the state, keep the federal government out of it, because they are looking at what is on the surface supposed to be ordinary conduct, normal society, but this is how the malicious system is underway. They're not exercising any constitutional rights. Living where you live, working where you work, walking where you're going, in public. No, you're in relevant position. The entire landscape becomes a criminal setting. It's the setting for criminal conduct. All right? 9AGH940. Because the police, the state, has placed American citizens under surveillance. And so while they're engaging in engaging in funsies, demonstrating impunity, you're going to lock that dangerous psychopath up in a mental ward. That's where they're going to go. You're going to remove the children from that threat. CS8765. While they engage in demonstrating, satiating that demonic activity to terrorize another person. There's so many ways that this analysis is revealing the mindset of that threat to the public. 9BEN759, engaging in terrorizing someone and doing so in a method that you think nobody is ever going to find out about. That's entirely malicious. Very, very sick. 8REE985. This is what you need to understand about the mindset. You're also prosecuting the mens rea, not just the act. I've shown you what is the P.O.C. and what they're doing. Light activity, relevant positioning. And it's also demonic. This is the prosecution for terrorism. And it's on behalf of what are the police? The police are placing American citizens under surveillance. 62995B2. We're going to go even deeper than that. You're going to prosecute the mind state. That's a predator that's waiting to touch you with light at the stoplight. You're going to prosecute for that. That's a predator. They want to touch you. They're waiting to touch you. They are necessarily touching you. They do the same thing with directed light. They're doing the same thing all together under the fake sun all day long, which is the scientific fact. It is the unnatural environment. And that is the cumulative documentation, by the way, for what is the state as a sex offender. You're going to prosecute. Their demonic activity in every way you're going to prosecute it. 4WRY090, 8WBX172, 9663E handicap. And those demons flying FedEx and UPS planes, having fun doing donuts in the sky in relevant position, they will find themselves in federal prison. The long arm of the law will find them and they will go to federal prison, holding that company accountable. 6WZ4UO. FedEx itself, okay, that's just a means of identification. That company is subject to what is federal prison and civil proceedings for engaging in that documented criminal act on behalf of the Ontario Police Department. 8BQM150. It's currently 8:01 p.m. 7PTC165. 5AAE499. That's called impunity, what you hear. That's called impunity. 7EST152. This is not everything that you see and everything that you hear. It's demonic. Okay? Satan is surrounding with ongoing noise. Satan is surrounding with light. And Satan is surrounding by its minions. 6ELV221. That is FedEx crossing path. Again, hovering over 150 East Holt. And I've documented many of the minions driving FedEx vehicles who are going to federal prison, and documenting what is the company that is FedEx coming from whatever location, if not the Ontario airport, which is nothing other than what is a venue where criminal monitoring is underway. They are engaging in repeating that pattern of conduct. That's called impunity. And like I said, you are going to relentlessly prosecute, because that's how you are necessarily responding to Satan. 8PBT301. All right, the very dangerous psychopaths, very dangerous. 79147H3, Amazon, crossing path. It's 8:03 p.m. AQN 795. And again, that's at 8:02 p.m. That was another FedEx plane, and it's hovering over 150 East Holt. 16107M2. Again, that's 16107M2. That's harassment by an entity. These are demons. 6HOH266, 5GUD818, 7RVZ985, 8YYB427, 8YIS 595, RGC777, 13692J1, 6UFB475, and 1545819. That's ongoing harassment by the entity while they're all molesting. That's demonic. That's amplification. It's the elements of monitoring, but let me be clear. Those are demons that are engaging what is harassment while you're revving your engine and you can't even, it's competing with the ability to speak. That's demonic. 8TGJ297. License XALFA. XALFA. All right, these are psychopaths that belong in mental wards. You're going to restrain them. Many of them losing their freedom. And not just federal prison, but many are going to many are going to federal prison, but they're going to mental wards as well. 58654S2, 8TDR247, 7FJG065, and again that's Omnitrans. That's bus 2346, license 1545819. All right, engaging in what is harassment while the entity. Again, this is what the entity engages in while I document their criminal activity. And this is what the entity is doing while you're sounding train activity, and all of a sudden the train just, I guess it just evaporates off the tracks because it just stops when I start recording. What you're looking at is traffic, but what you are listening to is not necessarily coming from the demons that are crossing the path. Satan is surrounding with audible activity. The level of volume that it's occurring at is entirely deliberate. It is a show of hostility. It's also serving what is monitoring under all circumstances, period. But I'm translating for you what is the ongoing hostility by a bunch of demons who are group stalking. And that is documentation of what is harassment by an entity. And this is just speaking to the ways in which you're going to prosecute sex offenders who are group stalking, period. Because while you are surrounding in the path, the entity is BU50A91 molesting 6ZGF 346. They're all molesting, speeding to the intersection. That's that predatory mindset because they want to touch. This isn't traffic. They're a bunch of demons. The same demons stalking with directed light, and Omnitrans is part of that molestation as well. And they're doing so on behalf of the sex offenders that are demon possessed, the Ontario Police. UK-92-639. License 7ZCL485. License 8Y8M353. 7THU136. 724. Hold on. 7Z42841. License 9AJD004. 7EMK194. 92629X2. 8XNR658. 8MFV893. They're all molesting. This is ongoing harassment. A bunch of demons who are hostile while you document them. 5VQN319, 6EYK913. It is currently 8:06 p.m. And this is the thing about it. This is what is so sick about the demon-possessed population. They are hostile. They're obsessively stalking. I am entirely the focus, okay? Obsessively stalking, mad that you're being exposed and documented, but they're still stalking. I am literally the center of their universe as the entity places a fake sun and fake moon over me day and night, okay? And stalking with the directed light, impossible light activity. I am clearly the focus, but you have still, while you're obsessively stalking me, but you're mad that you're mad because I'm documenting the fact that you're stalking. 5CBA 327, and that goes to the threat that the people of the state pose, a very criminal entity. That's the people of the state. All right, they're criminals and they're violent sex offenders, and many of them are in custody of children, and that is directly relevant when you are prosecuting the people of the state. All right, you're dealing with what is public corruption, and that is getting into what the ways in which the people of the state, their condition and the criminal system that they're engaging in with the police, which is a matter of what is corruption that's being revealed, it's being exposed. So you are necessarily neutralizing the threats that these psychopaths pose to the public and in their own homes. All right, they're engaging in this criminal conduct with children, including children, exercising control or responsibility over children, engaging in what is placing them into threatening conduct. That's not safe for a child while you're group stalking and molesting somebody, driving a school bus, while you're spitting out directed light while you're doing that. That's entirely demented, and it is not normal for children to be for a child to be anywhere near that. All right, you're doing so on behalf. There's literally ongoing warfare while police, demon-possessed police officers are stalking, and you're participating in that while you're driving a school bus. All right, that's entirely, not only is that inappropriate, it's unfathomable. It's very, very sick and demented, and it's also that which children should have no business being around. But this is what the people of the state are doing routinely. All right, they're driving their kids, dropping them off at school, and group stalking en route to do so, taking the specific route that they take in order to engage in that P.O.C. on behalf of the state, monitoring with a communication device, doing so with their teenage children, monitoring together. They're group stalking together. They're demon-possessed families, okay, raising their little demon-possessed children, contributing to delinquency, all the ways in which you can fathom that this system is existing. And I'm just spelling out some real life examples for you. These are the things that need to be addressed at prosecution, at exposing a government, the state, that is engaging in this criminal conduct with the people of the state. They are directly engaging in it. All right, so you're talking about what is corruption, not just at the heights of the state license plate 6WXW818, group stalking going down transit. The entity is engaging in what is not just with regard to when you're thinking of power. Okay, I documented the California Supreme Court. They are engaged in obstruction of justice, which is a state facilitating venue. The California Supreme Court is a group stalker. All right, that's documentation of that in conformity to the P.O.C. The denial of service of process, a very fundamental aspect of the Constitution. There is no grounds for confusion. They know exactly what the Superior Court should have did. They intentionally, with the intent to unlawfully deny my right to access to the courts, which is the pattern of conduct. The California Supreme Court is a facilitating venue. All right, so you're talking about what is the highest level, if you want to think about it in that way, but also with regard to what is even all the way down to the, let me get this license plate, 7 U.S.C 389, stalking over here on transit and directed light. The family unit, if you will. But I mean, I'm not just necessarily talking about the mother and father. You're talking about any sort of family, children, women and men. You're talking about what is the every aspect. It is the people of the state, every iteration of whatever you can imagine in your mind with regard to engaging in the pattern of conduct. I mean, you're talking about teenagers, you're talking about little kids, you're talking about people that are engaging in that conduct with children, just like I documented today at the Upland City Hall. I mean, these idiots are doing this. I mean, they're idiots because they're criminals, but you're talking about idiots that you don't even have any legitimacy. There's nothing, you don't have a straight face that you can make where I've exposed you as literally the sickos that you are, and then you want to drag kids out here, I guess because you want the kids to be documented. Because you're certainly not bringing kids out here and demonstrating that you're doing anything other than group stalking. I hope that's not what you're trying to do. But because the entity has engaged in that, we don't look any, you know, there's no P.O.C. I don't know what you're talking about P.O.C. Of course, this isn't a conversation that we're having. But as I have documented, I have witnessed Satan try to put on different masks, hiding behind the faces of children, pushing a stroller, because that makes you look more compassionate, less like a criminal, less demon-possessed. No, you're still in that same exact environment, and I actually hone in on that because you need to learn all the masks that Satan wears. Satan doesn't have a race. Satan does not have an age, a socioeconomic bracket. Satan doesn't have any political affiliation. You're looking at, how are you aware of demon possession? The environment. It is a specific formula, a precise formula, and it does not change. So in that regard, you will never be deceived. You will never be deceived. And Satan wants to deceive you. Hiding behind a pretty faced woman, hiding behind a quiet old lady, okay? Or who's pushing a stroller, all right? Has a nice, sweet looking face. She's under the fake sun and in direct light. Okay, the entity is stalking an American citizen flying over their head by helicopter. That old biddy is a minion, creating activity in relevant position, monitoring with a communication device in concert with the Ontario police. Or, I mean, if I'm in the city of Ontario, but with the police in general, it is the same exact P.O.C. And Satan engages in what is the same exact conduct using minions. All right, I have shown you every face of Satan. And it's the same exact P.O.C. 67775W1. There is no deviation from the P.O.C. You're looking at a different face. Same demon possession, same condition, same criminal conduct. 9ABT 473 8TTG 211. And so with regard to that, you're talking about with the levels of, I guess, the highest sort of level of power that you can fathom. Okay, I documented the California Supreme Court. All right, and you're talking about also the literally family units. You have a whole family full of group stalkers. All right, and that's a whole other issue, that you and your kids are demon possessed. That's your own issue. But you're talking about what is monitoring with them. That's an issue that I'm going to take up in a federal court, because you're monitoring. And I'm going to prosecute you for all the ways in which you are violating and threatening the life of an American citizen while you are in custody of children. You are also posing a threat to those children. They're freaks of nature. I mean, sick in every regard. I mean, it's just unfathomable. 6K23221, HS411 handicap, 8SCW356, 4V, I think that's 4VQR, 4VQR979. And it's 8:14 p.m. I'm at the B&G Plaza. They've been monitoring the whole time. So now I'm walking through the B&G Plaza, and this is called crossing the path. They have been monitoring the whole time with the Ontario Police, with FedEx and UPS using airplanes, okay, with all those minions that are group stalking, those license plates that I recited. They're monitoring together the entire time. They are in relevant position. Understand that. All right, so anyway, I'm just letting you know where I'm at right now. In Clean Street, creating light activity, stalking in the path at Ontario Town Square. 7ZDZ684. And it's currently 8:14 p.m. All right, group stalking, 6J92361. This is a demon lurking in the darkness. This is a Latino male with a bald head. And as he is group stalking in the parking lot, the entity is amplifying ongoing audible activity. That's a demon that's monitoring. And then you just have what is the creation of loud activity as I walk by. That's the P.O.C. And then, so I'm walking by him. I did not immediately read his license plate. The moment that I turned, make an about face to go get that license plate, this demon is stalking with audible activity. He closes his car door. All right, so he's sitting in his car. He's using his car door as a method of stalking with noise. Any change in movement, anything that I do, demons follow with noise. Okay, so he's clearly stalking. And he's also a demon that is stalking with noise. 7HCM281, and he's doing that in the parking lot of B&G Plaza. It's currently 8:16 p.m. All right, stalking with the Ontario Police at Shiro's Liquor. License 8GEA 711. 7STC 490. See, 7Z. I'm trying to see that one. I think I read that one already. It is currently 8:21 p.m. I did complete my purchase at Shiro's Liquor. ZNL 860 8. I can't see that one. That's a paper plate. Alrighty, this demon that is molesting with directed light with Andy's Burgers, license 8XAP245. And also 73618K2. That's a Latino male. He's got a puppy dog. He's got ear-length black hair. They're sex offenders surrounded with directed light. This is how the demon possessed engage in what is terrorism, by the way. They're coming from all around, on all sides of you, surrounding you, and this is directed light that they're molesting you with. 6NSM941, a very, very heavy Latino male. He's big, house, okay, fitting into that little Civic, and he's a sex offender who would never have any consent to touch me with a pencil, let alone touch any portion of my body while he's a demon stalking me with the Ontario Police, 8WTP961. And these minions are going to federal prison. Okay, that's ongoing harassment while you're stalking with the Ontario Police Department, and you like to do that while you know you're being documented. All right, you belong in federal prison, and they're sitting right in the drive-thru at Andy's Burgers, and that's just harassment while you're just walking through a parking lot. They do that by the hundreds, by the masses. You can put away your phone all you want, minion. All right, group stalking inside of Andy's Burgers as well. Hi, is it possible to get a cup of ice? Alrighty, also 8APG457, molesting. Center Ice Skating Arena, they're engaging in ongoing sex offense, they're molesting. And capturing what is images of the demons who are group stalking inside of Andy's Burgers. They're just sitting around, chit-chatting, eating food, ordering food, while they keep their communication devices on, while those demons surround me as I'm walking in a parking lot. All right, this is how they're engaging in what is monitoring you all together. And doing so on behalf of the police, 8KOJ188, 1955OJ1, molesting. That is the train tracks over here behind the museum. That are, you've literally got a train going about every 6 to 7 minutes while Union Pacific is stalking. And that's called amplified audible activity. 8VRR916 is a sex offender. 8BES458, again the same. Group stalking out of here, outside of this Grupo. This is a AA meeting area. They're monitoring. And that train, he's monitoring with the minion. This is demonic activity. License 6RSZ749. This demon's out here on his communication device. He's monitoring while those demons are molesting in the parking lot of Andy's Burgers. 6BHE728. All right, and these are the minions group stalking with the Ontario Police who are stalking me all night long right here over this area by the Ontario Museum of History and Art, 6WYX102, 6JCE907. And you're understanding what is a very sick entity. These very demons are stalking with the Ontario Police, who follows me around, who stalks late into the night, all night long, by helicopter, just flying in circles all around me. That obsessed, demon-possessed agency, demons that are stalking. This is what the police are doing throughout the country, by the way. And they're doing it with the demon-possessed people. I revealed not only their criminal conduct, they're a bunch of demons. They're psychopaths. And their conduct is sexual violence. You're going to get them for engaging in molesting your body while they're stalking you with light, directed light. It's not even normal light, it's engineered light. Your headlights are not reaching across the opposite side of a parking lot. You're a sex offender and a predatory actor engaging in what is sexual molestation while you're stalking with the police. 6RJS794. And the police are going to be prosecuted for that. As you're documenting the people, you are documenting the police. They're group stalking on behalf of the police. Okay, you got a running tab of federal charges while I'm documenting the people, because I'm going to prosecute them. But you do not forget they're doing it on behalf of the police. It is currently, by the way, 8:28 p.m. 7MJV432. They're monitoring with this other demon over here that just drives a little way down transit in order to make a U-turn. That's what the entity is doing by airplanes. It's called pacing. It's a demon. Demon that's driving a car doing that, and a demon that's flying airplanes doing that in relevant position to me. Okay, they're doing that on what is transit right here. License plate 8XHP794. That's a demon stalking with light. Okay, they have what is extraordinarily strong headlights that are shooting a very concentrated light onto Brian's Automotive. That's a demon that's stalking with light, swiping it across the property. That's a demon. They're stalking with light. Look at all these sex offenders. 37673E2. They've been having a field day, group stalking with the Ontario Police while I'm reading those license plates, and those demons are doing donuts over me in the sky and engaging in what is pacing all around in engineer light. All these minions are monitoring, and they're monitoring right now as well, while demons are surrounding on both sides. Group stalking in the parking lot. This is a criminal. She's a demon. Group stalking. This is so pathetic. She's stalking. She's stalking me while she's sitting in the parking lot of Center Ice Arena. In directed light, while the entity is doing donuts by airplanes, and while demons are doing U-turns in the middle of the street, stalking with light direct. She's stalking. Okay. 00799V2 7KBL767 40020V2 8UTE906 8VBP821 8VEB205. And any demon that wants to walk out with that third party and hop in their car, guess what? They're stalking too, because that's what third parties like to do. Oh, I'm not stalking. I'm waiting for somebody. They're both monitoring. Okay. In directed light. MRR star DST. It's pathetic. 8YYS898. It is so pathetic. 6XVP205, 8ZGT170. And there's sex offenders that like to touch all over me. That's why I'm a prosecutor and put it all over the world. They like to know what's going on in my panties. They like to be next to me while my panties are down. They like to create noise while my panties are down, while I'm engaged in private activity in the bathroom. They like to touch all over me with directed light that's not even naturally occurring. They just, in other words, they just like to touch me, all right, while they are also obsessively stalking and placing me under surveillance. 7TGC806, 8XTT936, 8KZH511, 7RZN069, 4108W handicap 82206M2 7PNN188 51287H3 8PDD090 8CMT518 5128-7H3 YEYEE11 8LOP787 7MNM525 8WXC235 4DBY679 8XZP011 8XIB707 8XO4598 8ERE706, 7WMU997, 5T19207, 8XKH007, 7YLG234, 33594K2, 6YFU269, 8TWJ795, 5T19207. Alrighty, you're listening to what are pathetic minions engaging in surveillance in the parking lot, and all that they can do is start a conversation as though they're just chilling, all right? They're chilling in directed light. They're monitoring while they're chilling, while the entity is using the sound of the train as amplified audible activity. They've been over here stalking for a prolonged period. All I'm doing is going over here, and while they're chilling, I'm documenting their stalking conduct on behalf of the Ontario Police. This is what you're not going to forget. This is the same location where the entity is stalking obsessively by helicopter, and these demons like to try to act like they're engaging in something, anything other than that. This is why you document. You're not going to forget what they are doing. They are the only ones that would like to forget. Nobody has forgotten. And you're an entire psychopath engaging in that. But this is what the people that say do. 5T19207, 8HDX655, 8HFS368. You know what that conversation is? It's audible activity. It's audible activity, and it's also impunity. While these freaks have multiple shadows, there's nothing normal about them. They're the demon possessed. 6WXW818, 8NUS625, 7HGM784, 6ZED621. 7EIS324, 7LYX044, 7RCK612, 8VAL772, 553, AWH. That's Nevada. I don't think I probably read this one. 8TWJ795. They're covering up their license plate. That's funny. It is 8:33 p.m. And as you would with any person, if you have any idea how malice works, you're talking about what is paying attention to the environment while someone is, oh, hey, man, it was such a beautiful day. Love to distract you with any sort of pleasant conversation. You make sure you pay attention to their three shadows on the ground. That's what you pay attention to. Make sure you pay attention to what's going on if the entity happens to be flying over in any documentation that the American citizen captures who's alleging group stalking by helicopter while they're enjoying that pleasant conversation. While they would love to distract and disregard that light activity that is suspect and that stalking conduct by the state. This is 8RRV419. And that's what's so pathetic about but this is Satan. Understand that. That's Satan. That's the demon possessed. That's a psychopath that is in no way prepared for what is documentation, objective evidence of your criminal conduct. You can talk about whatever you want while you're creating audible activity. Even that pleasant conversation that you cannot hide behind is ongoing criminal activity. All right, and so I just want to come over here and read these license plates. They've been engaged in prolonged monitoring while I've been at the intersection of Hope Boulevard, and the entity kept that fake sun, and they're all having fun, engaging what is impunity. These sex offenders are over here monitoring as well. okay? This is the entity that's engaging in doing donuts in the sky over me at that intersection. All right, this is where they're flying now, amplifying plane activity. They're not flying over 150, so they're flying right here over me at the skating rink, ice skating rink. I've documented all this. All right, you've seen that before. You've heard it before. That's exactly what they're doing now. So I just thought I'd go through, be thorough, and get some more license plates. It is 8:35 p.m. $7W09352, 5X50072. And it is 8:36 p.m. Let me be clear. Those are minions that are engaging with chasing me down with direct light in the parking lot. 5LDJ836. This is the same entity that ongoing obsessive stalking. This is impunity, stalking with the police. The stalkers in the bathroom, 8LQS790. This is the entity following from place to place to place to place to place. The obsessed stalker. And you're going to prosecute for that. That's relevant to how I prosecute them. When I read down, oh, you did this, you did AVMC 824. Okay, when they look up the word impunity and they find out what that means it's not very good for what is my prosecution, where I intend to place you, which is in a federal prison, if not a mental institution, based on your criminal conduct. I didn't do it. You did it. I documented it. And there will be no going back and forth as to, I didn't know what you're talking about. Well, you can look at Exhibit A. 7URS389. It's currently 8:37 p.m. That's amplified audible activity. You got a demon group stalking sitting at the dead end. Stalking with light, in other words, while the entity creates ongoing noise. Okay. It is currently 8:38 p.m. And this is a black BMW. They drive by on Lemon as I'm walking on transit. And then the entity begins sounding loud, audible activity. This is demonic. It has nothing to do with the sound of traffic. This is a demonic environment. It's just the creation of ongoing noise. While you have a demon that is engaging what is close presence to me and creating a method of stalking with light. Right, and this is the impunity of the demons. I just racked up more license plates of those demons group stalking at Center Ice Arena. The stalker does not ever learn. That's why the stalker is going to federal prison. And I'm reiterating that point because you're understanding what is absolutely necessary as a matter of justice. These are threats to society. These are closeted psychopaths. This obsession is just unprecedented. License 7 HLP 452. Just sitting at Emporia. That's 7 HLP 452. That looks like an Asian male group stalking. Right, and I've shown you what is my light activity at this museum, literally standing at this, where I'm at right now, where he's stalking in the path where the entity is sounding amplified audible activity. And I've documented this venue. This is the backside of the museum where I showed you the fake sun at 5:45 p.m. At the same museum where I stood this morning at 7:51 a.m. That's the pattern of conduct. I've also shown you what is the shadow, my one person, okay, and I had literally like 6 shadows, actually it was more than that, like 8 shadows around my person. They are stalking, and they're stalking while the entity is sounding amplified audible activity, meaning extraordinarily loud noise in the engineered light, and stalking on a back street, Emporia. That's an Asian male group stalking. All right, and I captured an image of that vehicle while he is engaging in that conduct. That's the grounds of federal prison. All right, you have what the entity is doing that times thousands. The people of the state are obsessively stalking everywhere that you're going. You're going to snatch up those threats and put them in federal prison. They like to stalk with the police in the United States. And then they call it something else on the news to you. They call it something else. But you have what is criminal conduct that you're going to address with what is necessary. You like to engage in stalking with the police. The police are under existing federal law. They're subject to federal prison under that. And so you're going to go to federal prison too, because the police aren't going to be able to delegate that to the people of the state. And the people of the state are in no way separate from it. Those are demons together. I've shown you the whole P.O.C. I've shown you their demon possession. It's equally the same. It's identical. You're talking about what is the delegation of that criminal conduct amongst the people of the state. All right. And they are all psychopaths. This criminal conduct undocumented by the people, this is exactly what these psychos are doing, pacing all around while the entity is flying over me all night long by helicopter. License, stalking with the Ontario Police, 8XFN820. What I have never seen before, but I mean, again, this is the first time, for example, I've ever exposed group stalking, so there is that. But what I've never seen are people so anxious to give up their, because that's what you're doing, and you're going to federal prison. That's exactly where you go. I've never seen so many thirsty people give up their identity. I've never seen this before. I've never seen that. And I don't have to document group stalking. You're talking about what any normal person would do, what any person that's not obsessed would do, what any person that's not delusional, any person that's not a threat to your life, all right, an extraordinary threat. Okay, they would back off. All right, but I'm showing you what is necessary as legislation, federal legislation. All right, there is no exaggeration. I couldn't make it up. I obviously I could not make it up. You're talking about what's necessary on the grounds of what the government, what the police are doing, what the state is doing, stalking by helicopter. Okay, I'll keep my language PG-13. But yes, you are absolutely going to federal prison for that. You are going for a long time, and you're talking about what is the absolute removal, if not disbanding, of that police agency. It doesn't get any more terrorizing than that. It doesn't get any more criminal and despicable than that. I mean, you cannot come back from that. All right, while holding themselves up in the light, but you're unaware of, prior to what I'm exposing to you, you are unaware about what these demons are doing, calling themselves police departments, what they're doing in the dark. While they are relying upon your respecting their badges and their positions, and relying upon what are court systems that just pacify, okay, just look over allegations brought against them. There's a bigger picture to that. This is the system in operation. That's the machine. I'm gonna break that down. I'm gonna break all of that up into parts. Break that entire system up. It's currently 8:43 p.m. Alrighty, I'm just showing you Satan that's following me on the grounds of the museum. This is a demon that's in directed light driving a bike through the middle of the museum. So you already know that this is directed light. This is the demon that's stalking while she is riding a bike as I'm walking on the grounds of the museum, monitoring. Okay, and in doing so with the people who are pacing around on Euclid Avenue, they're monitoring with communication devices. This is surveillance. They're a bunch of demons group stalking together. All right, and that's why I added a bunch of more names, identifying them as the group of demons that they are, and they're going to be prosecuted as the demons that they are and shown on the world, revealing. Literally, did you know that Satan has minions? And I've named thousands of them. You need to know that they're dangerous psychopaths, and this nothing hyperbolic about what I'm saying. I'm showing you and documenting the criminal conduct and their condition. They're demons. Demonic activity is real. Satan is real. Demon possession is real, and I have many of their names. And that's going to be a matter of public information. It's already public information now. But I'm going to go even further with that. It's currently 8:44 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is amplification. As I showed you on video, the directed light, the flashing light across the wall. Union Pacific is a criminal, a sex offender engaging in terrorism. And that is the case while I'm standing on the street documenting license plates and you hear the train activity. When you are seeing 1 ounce of evidence showing what is the use of nothing other than audible activity creation under the guise of what is a train, flashing directed light, while these shadowy demons are group stalking on the opposite side, while the demons of the Ontario Police Department are flying over my head in helicopter, Union Pacific is the identification of a criminal. All right, and that incessant use, that hyperbolic, exaggerated use of the train tracks is criminal. All right, and it is also that which is a audible activity that occurs when there is no train on the tracks. It's demonic. And it is 9:03 p.m. and that's exactly what's underway right now. Union Pacific, every time that train activity is heard, it is audible activity creation. This is ceaseless surveillance and terrorism. And it is identified under what is the people of the state going by the name of what shall be prosecuted as Union Pacific. It's 9:03 p.m. This is P.O.C.